We fixing to be. We don't know.
We're 10 seconds away.
Oh, there we go. Oh, we're tilted up.
We're getting a lift here.
Yes.
We're live.
Oh,
Let me
we're
go
live,
and
G.
zipping myself up so I look professional.
We're live here. I know everyone knows who I am, but who are you guys?
Yeah.
Mike Iconelli, he's a good friend of mine.
Yes.
Maggie Joe,
Good to see you guys.
Bassmaster, and I'm G-Man, Gerald
Yeah.
Swindle, whatever you want to call me, new man, knee man, I don't care. Call me.
Yeah. This is a cool opportunity, guys. Seriously,
Yeah.
because the regular Bassmaster Live is edited they got ideas, and this one's going to be just a free for all, and we're actually going to speak our minds. I think.
Iconelli, there's no way they left you and I here unattended. There's nobody at Bass has done that in purpose.
You think there's a delay? They probably have a button somewhere.
And this
in
one
the
right
truck.
here, we've worked with her enough to know.
Oh, yeah.
You can't mix her with us. It's
Yeah.
not
I can
gonna-
hang.
Yeah.
I know.
Everyone's
That's what,
going to need to hang on to their
Oh,
shorts.
I
For
know.
this one.
You're pretty quick. Well, that mustache you had in that last
I
commercial.
shaved it. I
was
shaved it for
great.
the
It
special
hurt Ike's
occasion.
feeling, and he shaved his.
I know. This is going to be a great opportunity. I can't wait because we are going to be able to comment, I think, on the show, on
Yes.
the tournament, and shout out to Toyota for making
Sure
us
did.
happen,
Yes,
guys. This is
Toyota
awesome.
stepping up again.
Yeah, we're here live
And
from the expo, from the
Two
Toyota booth.
hours today.
2 hours?
2 hours. We're going to be swapping
Yes.
in and out guests. So the folks at home, if you can't tune in to the live show or the secondary live show, you got the tertiary show.
That's right.
That was a big word for me, tertiary.
I don't know what it means.
It's third. So if you're not fishing secondary points, you're fishing the tertiary points.
Right. Heading into the pocket. So
Yes.
that's the last staging spot before they go to bed.
We're talking big for some guys that are not out there fishing today.
I reckon that's what I was doing yesterday
Yeah.
when I kicked both of your booties at the pro-am.
Yeah, you
Listen,
did.
we need to take a commercial break real quick.
Yeah.
It is. This is a real cool opportunity. It's never been done at the Classic. We're actually in the Toyota booth, so if you guys are going to attend the show today, want to come by and say hello.
Yes.
I've heard rumor there might even be some big-time drop-in guests. I don't know that.
Hey now.
Hey now. Mike said, hey now.
Hey now. I like the idea.
Yes, and I think from what I've seen on Bass Track earlier, they're catching them.
They are catching them. Yeah, a lot of speculation going into today with the cold front that hit.
Mm-hmm.
So we did the Celebrity Pro-Am yesterday, and boy, they bit. They bit really good.
I was so shocked. I mean,
Yeah.
every Classic we've ever had here, Ike, and even the Elite Series, you've been here.
Yeah.
It was miserable.
Miserable.
It was
Tough.
the most miserable. It was what yesterday morning was, Maggie, if you would have fished all day and it never stopped. But the water temperature was 40, 42, 43.
Super cold.
We get out there yesterday, and I look down, I'm like, it's 62.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm throwing a buzz bait around.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yep.
what are we doing? And then on the mountains, I ran up to Indian Creek, and it was so awesome. When the fog lifted, the entire mountains was covered in snow. The trees were solid white, and I'm like,
crazy.
how crazy is this? It's 62-degree water, snow on the mountains. And I told the guy then, I said, I had Big Martin, Justin Martin, I said, they're going to crush them
Yeah.
on Knoxville.
Yeah.
We've never had this warmer water temperature.
Yeah, it's awesome. And, the other thing is technology. I definitely, you're going to hear a little bit about this, I think, on this
Yes.
podcast. But you do have to look at the big picture. And, when you look back, not having that technology in the past here and having it now, it's a big difference.
It's a
and
big
you can
difference.
see it,
You get a little better water conditions, and you get that technology. It's going to really shock people what it takes to win. And I'm
Yeah.
not going to say which angler told me, but one of the anglers in it, he said, hey, bro, if I fish good, I should have 25 a day. If I fish bad, I should have 20.
Yeah.
He said, what do you think that's going to do? I said, anything you want it to do,
Yeah.
But that shows the difference in technology
Yeah.
and water temperature and it's setting up. And he's not exaggerating.
Right.
He says, I found some big ones.
Yeah, it was hot this morning. Woke up a little late, too-many drinks yesterday. Woke up and looked at the standings,
push
and looked at the weights, and I was like, "What the?" And it caught you off guard. But I think you're right, G. I think conditions, technology, and this wave of fish is coming, right?
Coming.
Like it's pre-spawn. These are fish that want to be on the bank,
Right.
And they got to go, right?
Yep.
This is the one time of the year where it has to happen.
And
So-
Maggie, you had like 15 pounds yesterday with 5 fish on Douglas. What did you catch them on? Because this will give the people at home a good idea of the variety. Because I'm sure you wasn't just looking forward, you were fishing. Because I know your style. You like to throw and wind.
Yeah, that's what was fun for me is I'm from Wisconsin. I don't get out of my Wisconsin shell often. I've never been down here before. I'm very new to owning a boat, so still learning, technology and whatnot. We got to fish how I would prefer to yesterday. We were just throwing a chatterbait right up to the bank. We were getting our bites really shallow. Later in the day, we found we were getting them out a little farther off. It seemed like they moved
Right.
out a little bit, maybe
Yeah.
when the sun came out. But Yeah, that jackhammer with the freeloader trailer on it was just lights out for us. My thumbs are tore up. We had a great time.
So that, like you and I fished here, that's never been. I think Hackney caught him one time here on a chatterbait, but the water temperature was like 46, 45.
Yeah.
By the way, you're talking just a little colored water casting right at the bank. First half of the day bites right off the bank, and I wondered if the water rising, because it was rising a little bit because the trash was floating inward, could that may have moved your fish out a little bit. Me and Martin caught all of ours on a DT6. We caught tons of fish, but they were all in like that 4 to 5 foot of water. It's just one or two right off the bank like y'all caught them, but I'm like, oh God, they are wanting to be up here bad.
Yeah. It's interesting because yesterday I tried to run what's called pattern fishing, where you look at the bank and you see, oh, it's rocks and gravel, and you pattern fish. I wonder, is pattern fishing dead? Like,
Yes,
like I wonder that a lot with and you know, not just as an older angler, but you know, is pattern fishing as we knew it dead? You know, I spent all those years, watching your videos, learning.
Me too. I'm like, I was like this first guy to come in and power fish with a finesse. And I can remember you had some small worm, and you like for 1 year, he was just beating us senseless. And I'm like, so I really, back then, when you got beat in a tournament, like we went home and watched our competitor and said, okay, what's he doing different? Because you couldn't correct your mistake instantly.
Right.
Like I had to go home and figure it out. But I mean, if you ask me, is pattern fishing dead? I would say, is Tupac dead?
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Well, you're going to find out in this classic how many people are running outside dock poles.
Yeah, well, it's somewhere in limbo whether pattern fishing is dead or not. But here, you know, this is interesting because every time we go to watch this, when I see a guy near the bank, I'm like, man, he's old schooling. And you have this constant, you know, battle
It's
between
old school, new school.
Old school, new school. But, you know, you have a guy here, maybe Alex Redwine, I think this might be, fishing the bank, looking very little at his forward facing. And he's old school.
And he's a good scoper, what we call a great scoper.
He is, yeah.
But he's jerking a jerk bait. Seems like he's working, got a little wind and rocks.
Yeah, and now here's the opposite, G. We've got Trey McKinney, one of the best.
Yes.
Arguably one of the best right now. And head down, looking the whole way, targeting fish on that technology. I mean, is this good for the sport that we have this battle of both? Or
I don't know. I think sometimes, Mike, I'm so like in between. I don't know how Maggie feels, but like I just hated that people go old school, new school, old school, new school.
Yeah.
I worry about the school. What shape is the school in?
Right.
What, you know, is it good long term for fans? Is it not? Like that. I just hate that it's like an age group thing.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't be.
Right.
It should be what's best for us.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Rick Clunn having the younger guys taking him out to teach him.
Yeah.
The problem with all these guys, they won't tell you nothing. I ain't gonna lie to the fans.
Well, maybe
at home.
when you're Rick Clunn, they will.
No, they won't tell. They don't tell people on camera.
That's fair.
And then they say, I want one of them big sponsorships. I'm like, well, nobody knows what you throw, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're super, super sensitive. All jokes aside, like. I've been with, like the camera guy I had yesterday, we were joking about it, and Martin had said something. He said, you know, I wonder what they're throwing. And that camera guy named off 2 or 3 guys immediately that said they will not let you film their baits
Really?
at all. It's top secret.
Yeah.
So even if they carry you, sometimes you're wondering, is he holding out on me?
Yeah.
You got a little bit.
Yeah.
You got a little bit.
But, you know.
Bowed up.
Just
I think we're getting a look here at some of his catches from earlier today.
some of the highlights.
Yeah, that's a big one. And here are I'm going to give you the top 3 things, guys. Top 3 things that you need to be an excellent scoper here in 2026. Number 1, thin mustache.
Thin.
Very critical.
Thin. You would not be there.
Mustache.
Yours was
Mine's
way
thick.
too thick.
Mine's too
have
thick.
to have a thin mustache. Number 2, of course, and we see here on Trey's boat, butt seat.
Butt seat. Sir
yes.
must.
We're bringing the David Fritz era back with the butt seat. And last but not least, you've got to be able to swing giant fish in on 4-pound tests.
Yes.
Just like Trey McKinney did here, too. So you have to have those 3.
Okay, so that's his 3. Can I add one and you add one?
I'd like to add one
You
as
add
well.
one?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
A good neck.
A good neck.
I can't check my blind spot for a week after
Strong
staring
neck.
down
Strong
at a
neck
graph.
muscles.
Yes, and you
All
got to
day.
have the flow, the hair.
The flow.
There's
the flow's
no
critical.
the super scopers of the world all have the flow.
That's why, gee, you and I suck at it.
We suck at
because
it.
of that.
I shaved my head. I said, I'm done already,
Yeah.
guys. But it's the same look. And you said butt seat. It's almost a lean seat because most of them never sit on it.
Right.
They're just pushing back on it because they stay on their feet so long, just trolling and looking. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of rough. And there's the guy at the top right there speaking to one of the greatest in the world at it, Fisher and I.
Fisher, amazing. Okay, and you've got to know, Fisher.
I
right?
know
You've got to
Fisher.
see him
His
on
dad and
come
I are
up.
like best friends, and
Yeah.
I watched that kid since he was in the 7th grade, and he's been in the boat with me to natural learn fishing. And now it's funny, I end up going back with him to watch him like try to learn, but it's no fun to go with these guys because they don't let you throw. They just want. They's like, hey, you just watch me, and I'm like, well, this is like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get. Well, I'm not gonna watch you all day.
Yeah.
I've got to give Lisa a shout out quick. She was a guest on our Bassmaster podcast earlier this year before the season started, and I asked her which rookie she was the most excited to watch this season, and she said Fisher and
He's the best. I'm
And
gonna
now
tell
look
you,
at him.
he's in the top. I'm gonna put Fisher and I in the top 3 scopers in the world.
Wow.
Not just in this league, but I've been with him so much, Ike, to see how his mind processes. And when he looks, Maggie, he don't like necessarily see his screen straight out. Like he's talking to me, and it's almost his mind puts his screen flat.
Right.
He's
piecing it together.
He's piecing it together. He's doing this, but he views it flat. And as soon as you cast, if he lets you cast, as soon as you cast, you won't even hit the water. And he said, you're going to be to the left. Go to the left. Reel it in. Go to the right. Go to the right. Go to the right.
Wow.
He said, he's turning. He said, no, he's swimming right at us right now. Wait. He said, now he turned, catch him.
Yeah.
So he spent his time.
Yeah.
So that's I think the thing that Ike and I want to clear up, Maggie, also. It's not that we hate on any of the young kids
No,
for being the greatest
absolutely
at
not.
it. They've put their time in.
They have.
They have put their time
They
in.
have. And that's key.
That's key.
Yeah.
And we put our time in to learn one way,
Yeah.
and then it's, now we're like, okay, now we're learning another way.
Yeah.
But screen time,
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that's a common misconception that if you have forward-facing sonar on your boat, you're just going to catch them. It takes a lot of time to dial
Takes
it
a
in
lot
and
of
get
time.
good at it, and I'm learning that really quick.
Yep.
It does. Yeah, it's like I think any sport, anybody that's really good in their craft, it's repetition.
Yes,
Do it
repetition.
over and over and over and over and over until you get good. The other thing you said, G, is how Fisher dissects that. And I put a term to it, and it's because I got to watch my son Vegas get really good at it,
Yep.
and I still suck. But he understands digital space.
Yes.
And that's exactly what that is.
and he
you
has
know?
one thing about Fisher that I talk to a lot of people about. He has no distractions in his mind. In other words, that kid is never tempted to go, bet they biting a chatterbait.
Right.
He goes out to do this,
all
and
in.
that's what he's going to do. There is no other option. There's no backup plan.
Right.
And I think at our age, we struggle with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Age is nothing but a number, Jim.
Yeah, we've got some ages here. We've got Stanley Mitchell, one, of course, back in the day, 81. He's 21
I would
years old.
highly disagree with this. That first age is nothing but a number. I'm going to say bull malarkey.
Yeah.
Because you give me 10 more years, and I'll show you that that's the reverse.
Yeah.
We've only had young kids this many years, and you watch how fast that changes.
Yeah.
Its age is only a number over a certain spectrum of history.
I'd agree with that.
But history will flip that and show you they're so much better younger with that. And I think what's amazes me is it increases consistency.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can correct your mistake pretty, if you're good with it, you do, okay, I need to fix this.
Yeah.
Where if we're natural fishing, as you spoke about pattern fishing like you fished yesterday, if you think you figured it out and you make 1 or 2 reads wrong, well, you've lost an hour and 25 minutes.
Right.
Scoping, you can fix it pretty quick.
Real time.
Real time.
Real time.
And the consistency level, and you'll notice like from Gunnersville to Lake Martin, the check consistency from day 1 at Gunnersville to day 2, a lot of people whoop, whoop, whoop. At Lake Martin, whoop, whoop. Like it's it's not just the top weight
Yeah.
goes up, it's the weight all the way down is so much closer.
Yeah. It's funny because when I got in, gee, I don't know how old you were. I got in trying to do this when I was in my mid-20s.
Yes.
And when I won my classic, I was 30 years old. And they were telling me I was they were considering me a young
Yep.
classic winner at 30.
30.
And now we have 18, 19, 20. They can't even go to the bar and drink for crying out loud.
No.
This is crazy.
Can't buy a pack of smokes.
No.
Can't even properly celebrate.
No. This is incredible.
And I started, made my first classic when I was 28, and I was considered young.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's a good, we've got average age. You can see that average age gone down considerably every year. back in 2022. 36 years old was the average age. Now it's dropped all the way down 4 or 5 years from there. So it's crazy. They're getting younger, and they're getting better. There's no doubt about it. Younger and better.
All right, hypothetical question.
Mm.
Would Bass ever drop the age limit, and could we ever see a 14 or a 15-year-old guy win, or a gal, win the Classic?
It's interesting. You bring up, when you think about that topic, there's a lot of points. But the one is, and I want to say this, and this isn't disrespect to any of these kids, but it's maturity and that maturity level, and then what's going to happen in the future.
Right.
Like, seriously, like, I worry about guys like Fisher, you know, these young guys that, have they got into this too early? Maggie G, have they got into it? Are they ahead of their time? Not from a talent standpoint, because obviously they're good, but
from a business
standpoint, or even a mental, personal standpoint. Like, how's this success going to affect them as they mature and grow in the sport?
One thing that I see, Mike and Maggie, is there's a lot of 22-year-old winners. Mm-hmm. So in the world of sponsoring and all this, it's doing this, and there's really no separation, and it's like, it could be too early because the industry's not ready for it.
Right.
When we started to be, you know, if you had a great consistent year, and you, like, we battled it out several times, that doesn't happen every year. But
right.
when you have a consistent year, or sponsors watch you make 4 or 5 classics in a row, they will immediately invest in you because they know there is something different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always wonder, from that investment as a sponsor, how do you look at some of the new great talent and say, which one do I pick?
Yeah.
You ever,
I think as an outsider, my take on it is a lot of these young guys who seem to be handling themselves pretty well have really strong support systems too,
Yes.
and backings.
Yeah,
They're
They
great
do.
parents, good families traveling
Yes.
with them, role
Yes.
models, and relationships with sponsors. So I think that has a lot to do with it too,
Yeah.
keeping you grounded. And
Yep.
I can tell you this, though, from, like, if I look at Vegas, and Vegas aspires to do this, he's watching right now, I'm sure. He's in school. It's a Friday. He's probably watching right now.
Sneaking
and he's not
around.
supposed to. But like, as a father for him, I want him to have those other experiences before all this happens, right?
Yes.
So I want him to finish high school. I want him to go get a 4-year degree. I want him to have that college experience. I want him to be a normal kid before he's thrust
and then you're
into
wondering,
this.
is he going to be too old?
Right. Exactly.
That's like my nephew Trey is 25 now.
Right.
And he told me the other day, he said, Uncle G, I think I'm too old. He
crazy.
literally told me, Unc, I think I'm too old, that even if I get in, I'm going to be on the upper part.
On the upper age.
And I was like, I've never thought about it like
crazy.
that, but I'm like, is that crazy?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I tend to lean toward get those experiences, get those life experiences. You're not going to get them back. You're not going to be 18 and 20 again and have those life experiences. But who knows? The world's changing, not just fishing. The whole world's
What will
changing.
technology bring in 3 to 4 years, Maggie? Do you see that? Because what we see here is technology. We think some of us, we think it's so incredible that maybe even the highest level we were like, maybe we shouldn't use that it's so good. So what do you see in 3 to 5 years, what technology would bring?
Well, you can tell just by looking at me. I'm no rocket scientist, but we were just talking about this on the boat yesterday, like, of just where could it go? It feels like we're so advanced already. We were talking about is your live going to be on your VR goggles? We sent like a little camera robot down to the Titanic, didn't we? Or are we
Yes.
just going to have a little camera down there instead of live? I
Could
don't know.
we incorporate AI, and when you scan the fish, it says carp, 3.5 pounds?
We said that too.
Or smallmouth, largemouth, and then pop up your best options baits to use, most highest percentage. Like,
I think
it
it's
sounds
coming.
crazy.
Sounds crazy.
But
I think it's coming, G.
But if
I
you'd have told me
honestly do.
10 years ago that there would be tournament anglers win and break records and smash records and brag or say, whatever you call it, that they only made 100 or 64 casts all day, I would have like, you're just crazy. That's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And there's anglers now that they'll say, I only threw at 4 or 5 fish all day that it wasn't bass, and I made 100 casts and things went pretty good. And I'm like, I made 100 casts to get this rotator cuff loosened up.
It's crazy.
So
it's crazy. It's a crazy world. And be careful what you wish for, because I want to tell you a real life story. So back when I club fished, this is like in the early 90s, we had a club meeting, and everybody got up front and said, what would be your superpower if you could predict the superpower? And mine was, man, I wish I could see little red dots. Put my sunglasses on, I'd see little red dots everywhere where there was a fish. And it came true. It came true, and now I hate it. So
like
be
I should have
careful.
changed my. I should have changed my wish.
Man, I should have changed my wish. Be careful what you wish for. But it came true. And I honestly feel like all the movies, we watched, Maggie, we watched in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, they're all coming true.
Yes.
For crying out loud, John Carpenter's They Live, coming true. The Terminator, it's true.
True.
I mean, Arnold's probably standing behind us here somewhere.
He's probably
Arnold-
disguised as that Toyota RAV4 or something,
Jeez
just
Louise.
standing there.
It's all coming true. So, yeah, technology and fishing, I think it's going to keep going. Yep. It's gonna
Will,
keep going.
you think technology could discourage you to not want to go as much? Is it possible?
No, I mean, I think it's fun. I think as an angler, I understand the feelings some people have about it, but I think it's important to adapt and learn. If people are going to be using it, I think you should try to learn. But I'd be lying if I said I don't love doing what I did yesterday. Just trolling down the bank and
That's what
throwing
Martin
a
said.
chatterbait.
Martin said it like 4 or 5 times. He said, and this guy's like the master duck hunter, so he's an outdoorsman. He goes, I don't think it gets any better than reeling a DT6 over a rock and your line going slack. He goes, dude, it's like ducks just flocking into green timber. So I think when you're just fishing, and this guy has proved it, and I've used your analogy several times, Ike, I'm like, when we just fishing and you don't know when you get your bite, that's when you see him at his highest.
Yep.
Because it's he's so emotionally connected to like, oh my God, I got a bite, and it's the surprise, the adrenaline. So when the fish gets in the boat, I've been there, like, dude, you just don't know what to do. You're just like, oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I don't. Sometimes when I'm scoping, and I've made top 10s with scoping, and I'm like, it's kind of fun, but I'm like, I don't get that emotional like rush.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's cheesy, but when everyone says a bad day of fishing is better than a good day at work, you miss out on, like, it's so great to just be outdoors and
just
see the bald eagle flying, and you don't see that when
see
your
the snow
head's
on the
down.
mountains.
Yeah, it's true. It's fun to just kind of take in your surroundings too. So I think having a little balance of both, but
I think it's good. I think we're having to take in information. You know what I mean? Like we have to process it and say, okay, is this where it's the best? Is this where we need to improve? And I think that takes a little time to look at, and just and then you get the fan read on it.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, hypothetical. I love hypotheticals. Do you think when FFS is in use that the records and the century belts should be raised higher or have an asterisk?
Yeah, well, I've and people are going to, people already hate me, but they're really, really going to hate me after this. And, before I even say this, I am not Randy Blockett, and I'm not, I fall somewhere in the middle. I definitely do. And, but I believe it's a lot like steroids in baseball. I really do.
Yeah.
And the asterisk's not a bad idea because, all those records that were broken by fishing naturally versus, this style of fishing, they are different.
They are different.
So I think they should be
Maggie?
They're different.
Historically viewed as different.
I think so. I think if you look at it and it's like, okay, because we just had the young man out there in Rayburn put on a clinic. He almost got a century belt in 3 days.
Yep.
And for years, I think 10 or 12 years, I had like the 3-day record in a Bass Open win, and it was 83, 84 pounds in 3 days, which smashing them.
That's smashing.
And he had 90-something pounds in 3 days. And, that record has been broke several times since then. And records are made to be broken. I understand that, but I'm like, where do we stop? Is the century belt moved to 125?
It's a great question. I don't know.
I'm like you. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I'm looking at the sport and the history. Take all personal feelings out. Like when you look at the record book, you're going to say for 30 years these records were this.
Yeah.
And for the last 10 years, they almost lapped the field.
That's true. Yeah, they are two different animals. As we watch the Classic here in Knoxville, completely two different animals watching FFS versus just fishing. And I think there has to be a note made to that. But here's the other thing. I think these tournament organizations like Bass that have addressed it for the fans, for the sport.
They're trying to tweak it.
Try to tweak it. I think that makes everybody happy, and I really do. Shout out to B.A.S.S.
I think
really
they're hunting. I do think they want the perfect balance, and this was the first step to say, okay, where are we at?
Yes, and I like it. Like this year in the Elites, basically half and half. And then even in this World Championship event, I think the evolution as we move forward, I think there needs to be limitations on FFS in the Bassmaster Classic. I really do. Now, whether it's, a time limit or whatever they come up with, but making everybody happy by addressing both,
Or
I like that.
do every other classic. So we had this year, we might have it. This is just, we're just spitballing here, which we don't spitball very good. And then turning next year's classic in, all right, before we even announce where we're going, it is a non-FFS. And then next year we'll go back to it.
Well, next year will be my last, this coming year is my last year. So next classic will be potentially, not with the start ahead, but potentially
your last classic.
My last classic. So I'm voting already in the professional angler voting board. I vote for no FFS in the next classic.
Yes.
You got my vote.
It would be a much different look. I mean, look, Takahiro just won a big event there at Hartwell on a chatterbait.
Chunking and winding.
Skipping dock. So I do think you look at the potential how it would fish. It'd be crazy.
I will say, again, another shout out to Bassmaster. This makes it more fun to watch someone stare at a screen when you can see it too. Yeah,
it does. I like the, if you're going to use technology, I like incorporating this image to where you can see what's going on.
And it's getting good. They can plug in cords. You can see the 360 on the Humminbird. You can see on all brands. You can see, Fisher, you see him wrestling one in.
It's another 6-pounder he'll swing in on 4-pound test.
Yeah. One of the things is I think, all right, question, polling my audience, my
Are you
panel.
Gonna get me canceled?
No. But I'm going to say that's so thick glory right there. Get him in, son. Grab him. Put your hands on him.
We've got his dad right here.
Oh, boy,
we have Fisher's dad right there.
Right here in the crowd.
Big Ryan Fisher just caught a big one. He ain't even watching.
It's a nice call
He has no idea.
Ryan Fisher just caught a big one, but you don't worry about it. You stay over there. We're going to do live.
This is the official update right here live. Looking at that fish. So we see
Look at the size of that
Fisher's
fish.
Smallest right now, 2 pounds. Clearly bigger than 2. Clearly bigger.
Let's hear what he's got to say. We got a clip.
Hey, all right for today. How about a 4.5 pounder?
4.5.
We'll take those any day of the week. Get rid of number 1.
That's phenomenal. That's a big deal.
Unreal call.
That's a big in a classic where the weights are going to be close G. That's a big deal.
That's a 2.5 pound coal.
Big deal.
So that's going to jump him from, I think, he was sitting like 15.5, 15 something. It's going to jump him 17, 17 and a half,
Should
18.
Be right up near the top now with that call. And a smallmouth, for crying out loud. Look at that.
He doesn't discriminate. He catches all species equally the same. He's mad at every one of them.
They're the biggest pool floats I've ever seen in his live well.
Yes.
I mean, that's a good. If his camera guy goes in, just throw one of those out.
Yes.
He could cling on to it.
Sir, do you have enough life jackets? I have 6 extra pool noodles. And my legs are skinny, sir. I put them on my ankles. Maggie, you could put them on your arms as floaties and just say, I got you. I got you, Captain.
Oh, my gosh. What a call that was.
What a call. That is a big move.
The interesting thing is we got to see that, and Maggie, you said it, you liked that view. We got to see that fish catch digitally by being tapped into his graph there, and that fish came off the bottom.
Yes, and it looked like some type of road bed or high place. I was watching the screen.
Little divot there.
And you didn't really see the dot floating. It come off the bottom. And that's one of the things that I've really practiced on the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And watching him.
See, there's the divot you're talking about.
All right, so you know why people are panning back and forth. They're trying to get that little bitty piece of macaroni and cheese to wiggle. And that's all he's looking for. And see his bait in it. And then there he goes. Okay, all right, here. I wish we could stop it right there. Look at the 2 or 3 fish.
Got him.
Yes.
Got him.
Just wait. You see what's sitting behind that fish and under it? This ain't over.
No.
He just triggered that one, and there's 3 in front of it and 1 behind it.
Very next fish is a big largemouth.
Yes.
Oh,
he tried
missed the flip. Missed the flip.
Come on, Fisher. I mean, he did boat flip a 9 at Okeechobee last year. A 9.
This looks like another 4-pounder. He tried to boat flip. It didn't work.
Yes.
That was an incredible example of his casting accuracy that you touched on.
Yeah. This is super cool. I think it's awesome, too, that these fish are together. You've got a brown one that came in a second ago. You got a green one. Next cast will be a spot.
He had mentioned to his dad that he found a place that had a nice mix of big smallmouth and big largemouth. And he said there's not piles of them there, but he said, Dad, what's there is big.
Wow. That's
and
probably
said,
this place.
I would say it.
I think
but
we're there.
We couldn't even get it out fast enough to say, look what's under it. So when people at home are watching that screen, if you see a fish launch from the bottom, look what's out in front of it or behind it, because it's been triggered then, and then he's going to return. Yep. And once again, there's guys are so good at going right back to the cast. What you said about Vegas,
Yeah.
understanding digital space.
Digital space.
He won't miss the cast. He won't throw it and go, nah. It's going to go right back in the old kisser right there.
Yeah. And here's that diversity again, guys.
Yeah.
Keep talking about it.
Alex is going to jerk.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great jerkbait fisherman, but he looks to be looking a little bit here. He's
that's
peeking.
That's a hybrid model, too.
Yeah, it's a hybrid.
A hybrid model.
That's like our trucks we drive. We have electric bottom end.
That's right. That's right. We're always trying to bring in a Toyota plug. This is a good way to do it.
It's a shameless plug, but I mean, Toyota makes a great hybrid, and so does red wine.
Yeah, here he goes. Here he goes. Yeah, it looks like, you know, if you weren't really paying attention, it appears, you look at Alex, he's just jerk baiting down the bank, but he's incorporating technology to make a more perfect cast. And I like that. I think the guys, the anglers that are good at doing both and combining them, that's the future of the next.
You see what he's doing right here? This is what's so overlooked. All right, this looks to be like he's just, watch him. He's going straight, and watch before he makes his cast. He kicks his trolling motor to the bank. So to fish shallow, you can only fish it on a 90-degree turn effectively. So they have to bump forward and turn, and see. And that's what he's trying to do. He'll coast forward and turn and look, because you can't see shallow looking. If you got over in 4 foot and looked all the way down it, you can't see him.
Right.
So he's doing it again. He'll advance a little bit, and then he'll kick it to the right. He's just looking, and then when he sees one dot, well, it's on.
Yep.
Like me at the Chinese buffet.
I forgot to bring my notebook today.
Get me 2 plates. Well, I was like excited about sitting here today because unless, and this is nothing against anybody out there, unless you have done this at the highest level for years and learned it, it's hard to just look at it and say this is what he's doing.
Yep.
Because there's tricks that they ain't telling you. Like there's a reason he's advancing and turning, advancing and turning. It's not. It's the only way they'll show up.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if you and I were out tracking a deer, Maggie, that's something you like to do, and I've got a flashlight mic, and I'm trying to look down at my feet for where the deer tracks were, and I go up a hill. Well, if I keep looking straight down, I can't see as much. So he's turning his beam looking uphill. So he coasts and he looks uphill.
Getting a better vantage point.
He's getting a better vantage point. Yeah. And he'll even reposition his transducer. It's not what Fisher's is probably set on right now.
Yeah.
So, like, that's some of the cool stuff. I'm like, everybody says, how do I understand, like, any type of FFS? Take a flashlight and go out at night. You want to look flat in front of you. You don't have to have the light out as far. It can just be right here. But I say, if you want to look uphill, you got to raise your light. So when you're fishing shallow, you got to raise your light or you're not going to see.
Yeah. Yeah. This is my OCD is driving me nuts right now. Like I'm looking at all these
screaming
dots.
Adderall.
Dude, I just want a half-ounce missile mini flip jig, black and blue, and I just want to tear down that bank right now.
I just want to take the ball and out and skip all the way through that shadow with that buckeye and let it go down. And I just kind of want to shake it, and then when he bites it, I'm gonna black out military, try to throw out the last 2 good discs I've got.
Yeah.
Slack line, break 3 rods, fall out of the boat, and say, missed him.
I mean, gee, he had went 30 feet in the last 10 minutes. I'm shaking over here. I would have been on that point down there.
I'd have done used all my chapstick and took my medicine. I'm like, okay, where's next? Like, literally, but that's how we learn to do it.
Yeah,
so, like, the hardest thing I've had adjusting to it, and I've really been working on it for 5 or 6 years. So people's like, do you not like it? No. They don't like it. I'm still learning it. I've spent a lot of time trying to learn it.
Yeah.
But I say the hardest part I've had, Mike, is just slowing down.
Yeah.
I get a little bored.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I look around a little bit and I'm like, okay, dog, cat, squirrel.
Yeah. I'm like that.
And I feel like time's passing.
Right.
But one of the things I've noticed, and I've told Lulu this several times after Fisher and I fish together a lot, time means nothing to him. Hear me when I say that. Nothing. If he don't see one for 5 hours, Ike, and he don't cast, it means nothing.
Wow.
And me and you would be next level code red. You'd be going down the bank throwing 2 chatterbaits, Maggie, going, bring it home, baby, bring it home.
Well, it's working for him.
I noticed the amount of discipline that the young guys have. Or confidence.
Yeah.
It's like he's not rattled. And you and I, we do it 2 hours. We're like, oh, God, we got it. Here it is. Here's the clip from Okeechobee. I'll just boat flip a 9 on a 13 rod. I'm like, we could do a tagline. Who else is boat flipping 9s on a 13?
Look at that. Oh, my gosh.
All right. And he had told me when he got home, he said, gee, That fish followed me 300 yards down the bank. He said he had come up on my bait way down there. He would swim and get under the back of his boat, and he said I would pan backwards and see him, and he said I would kick out, flip over there, and he would swirl at it. He said he'd go back under the boat. He said for 300 yards, I'm drifting. He said, and finally I just threw it out there, and he said, he just eat it. Okay, me, Ike, I give up on that fish after the first cast. When he didn't get it and went on, I'm like, okay, this relationship's over, baby. You get the trailer, I get the truck, we're done.
Yeah.
You know, but he didn't. Time means nothing. He just stayed with it.
Yeah.
That's the things I learn when I go with him.
Yeah.
It's probably like Vegas. If he sees one, he don't give up.
He doesn't give up. No, it's great because, you know, you can be really old, really set in your ways, and I think you could still pick up a lot, especially from these young guys. And watching this just today and hearing you talk, Jay, I'm learning a lot as we're live.
There's so many little tricks in there that are never spoke about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We either just say FFS or nothing, but I'm like, man, when you really know the level, positioning of transducers, understanding beam strength and height, understanding why your screen is dirty.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I made a video saying that, you know, necessarily didn't have to have a 16-volt battery to have a clear screen, because that's what everybody strives for. I want a clear screen. I want a clear screen. It doesn't have that much to do with power. It has much to do with what's in the water, sand, pollen.
Pollen's a killer.
Boat waves.
Yep.
If we go put the boat in the water, Ike, at your place, and there's been no boats running around no wind all night, you don't matter what battery you got in, when you put it in there, you're going to think, man, that's crystal clear.
Yeah.
But when the boats run around, all of a sudden people say, man, when I get my batteries, you get 1 amp low or 1 volt low, they get, no, that's the jet skis.
Right.
Yeah.
You have minerals and like all the minerals and stuff floating around in the water, and you'll see on Fisher screen, the wind was blowing, and you can see the haze. But like I learned from him, you don't try to get that out. He fishes through that.
Yeah,
he said if you he said if you try to detune all that out, you're going to miss something.
Right.
Well, we're going, I got to get that out.
Right.
I just give up.
Yeah, but it's so funny.
Chatterbait.
It's just water. You fish in the pollen, and it'll drive you crazy.
Yeah. Here's something else that just, as you were talking, it hit me. We're getting a good look at a lot of these anglers, a lot of these younger anglers fishing today. Gee, they look abnormally calm.
Yes.
Let me remind everybody, this is the Bassmaster Classic. My first Classic, dude, I was nervous. I looked a wreck. I didn't look like
I was like chewing my nails like, oh, God.
Oh, yeah, you're chewing corn on the cob.
I'm just like, you're like, it's Denny Breyer. Kevin Van Dam's blasting off behind me. I got to get ready, you know.
These anglers look extremely poised and calm. You can see it in their body language. It's just like another derb. But this is the Bassmaster Classic. Does that surprise you, Maggie, watching these?
Well, may I remind you guys, I was literally shaking at takeoff yesterday at the Celebrity Pro-Am. So if that tells you anything.
That's because it was cold.
I think it was
No, I'm from Wisconsin.
Oh, that's right.
It's like a tropical vacation for me down here.
Shout out to Monster for being a sponsor of Bass.
There you go. Yeah.
Hook your brother up right here. I ain't looking for a check. I'm just looking for something to sip on, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to make what we can make over here. It's incredible to watch both styles.
Yeah.
And it's such great, like, I love hearing, like, the hypothetical situations, how you guys think. It's the only way we're going to learn it and understand it is to share it with the public as much as we know. All right, here's Fisher, soundbite.
Back to Fisher.
Well, we made some moves.
Okay, we got him live. And he's analyzing, right? He's taking bits of information and he's trying to utilize it. Those last 2 big calls we saw Fisher make a second ago bumped him up the first, Jay, and he's around that 18-pound mark. That's a big deal for day one.
That is a
Big deal, big deal.
If he doesn't catch another bass from this point forward, he's going to be in a tough fight.
Yes.
He's got his eyes on a giant right now.
Yes. You can hear him talking
Yeah,
about
he says, oh, my God.
it. He said, "This, don't let it happen."
Getting them the bites
It's
been the
incredible.
issue, so gonna grind them out for a little bit, see if we can't catch 1 or 2 more of them, then make that long run coming back in, because it's about an hour to get in. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need some gas, so leave us a bunch of time to get in, see if we can't maybe upgrade 1 or 2 more times. I don't know where he went. I don't know how he disappeared so quick.
We see,
I mean,
you see,
he's
he's like he's not giving up, Maggie. He said, "I don't know where he went, but he can't disappear."
Yeah.
Which means I will find you, buddy. You're not going to hide from me.
Yeah, it's interesting, too, because even with technology, like old school way, we would switch baits. We'd go down a bank, flip a jig. We think there's one there. We'd pull out a chatterbait. We'd pull something else out. And here Fisher's just changing his presentation, changing his style. Looked like a minnow or a drop shot something. Now he's got that dog toy on.
Yes, he's got that.
You want to talk about the dog toy
It's
a little
the
bit?
lint ball. It's the lint ball.
The lint ball, the hair
I
ball.
pulled one of those out of my belly button this morning.
Yes, that's right. I've got
one of Leanne's friends posted. She said, "We don't get money out of our dryer anymore. I just get this." And her husband had left one of those dog toy balls in the pocket, and my wife's like, "Whoa, that's better than finding money. Put it on eBay. They're hard to find."
They are hard to find.
You know, it's a spike type bait ball. The hide up Koike was the first one that got really popular, and now you're seeing a lot of companies come in and be super competitive with that.
Yeah.
But one of the things, if you've never had one of that like type, they're indestructible. When Mike says they're dog toys, unless they eat it, you cannot tear it up. That material, I don't know what it's made out of. Maybe a tire.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't hardly push a hook through it.
Yeah, they're hard, but do not mix them with other plastics. Do not mix them.
It'll eat them up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hate to call him out, but I always think that Koike sounds like something Carl Jacobson would say if he stubbed his toe.
He's working the corky ball down. Oh, he got him. I knew he wasn't. Fisher's hooked up right here. May help. No.
Just bow flipped another 3-pounder on 4-pound test. No big deal.
Maggie. All right, let's listen to what he's got to say. Turn him up. Well,
He looked massive. He indeed was not massive. Massively small. Got a feeling it's just muddy on the surface because they're still seeing it from 2 foot away from them pretty easily.
You hear how he's talking that? Just looks muddy on the surface on the screen, but they can see it within 2 foot of them. Watch, and I'm like, oh, the fish rose on it. He noticed he's constantly kind of moving that foot, and there comes his bait. He's staying on him. The reason you move is for the fish is moving. All right, he didn't like the way that looked. When he went down, the fish didn't look up. He wants the fish. I've been with him. The kid wants the fish to tilt upwards just a little. And see how he tilted, he moved, and went back. And this would be the part where Fisher would be like, you let it sit there too long. He would be correcting me by the second of what I did wrong. I see fish on the backside of his little rise or whatever it is. You see a nice one back there too. So, buddy, you better eat your last meal, because when this young man gets done with this one, he's coming to punish you. Go ahead and tell you, bud, you can kiss your family goodbye, because you're going to jail.
It's incredible too, watching the repetitive casts on that fish. You know, you were talking about that big swim bait fish he caught. Repetitive cast. Here it goes again, over and over and over, presenting that bait, little different, little higher.
And I would have been lost confidence. I'm like, well, man, he's done. He knows my tricks. Fisher's like, I was keep messing with him, but he's reading the fish's reaction.
Right.
Much like old school sight fishing for us, we would find one, we'd work him with a lure, and you would explain to my marshals over and over again, all I'm trying to do is read the fish's reaction and his emotion.
Right.
And I'd always say, first thing on a big sight fish is you got to make friends with him. You got to make sure that he's not scared of you. And once he becomes relaxed with you, then you can catch him.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's just kind of watching the fish's behavior, demeanor.
Yeah.
And he said, I'll present the bait to what I need to.
Yeah.
Did you see that? You see what I was saying? Time means nothing. Like he don't care how long he sits there messing with that fish. He doesn't even register.
That's crazy. Yeah, he's reading the body language of the fish, not with his eyes, but with
digital space.
With technology. It's pretty crazy.
So we could be called high-end software interpreters. It would sound like we had a really high-paying job, Maggie.
I can't. The last 5 minutes of this live footage, I'm just like this.
You're just like, show me something.
Well, I'm looking for a new job starting next year, so maybe
software
I can
interpreter.
get into the software space. You know, who knows?
Are you looking forward to it?
I am looking forward to it. I think in your life, you look forward to new opportunities and new things.
Yeah.
And,
new chapters.
Yeah, new chapters. And for me, that's part of it. The other part of it is, and you know this is a big one. A lot of sacrifice doing it this long, and a lot of things we gave up. I know you've talked about it before. I have too. And I don't regret it. You know, I look back on those 30 years, and I loved everything that happened. It was a great career, but I missed a lot. And I'm looking forward to being home more and getting more family time.
I had a gentleman at Eufaula, Alabama, several years ago, like 6, 8 years ago, and he goes, man, he said, bet you got a lot of stories about the ones you missed and the big ones you missed and got away. And I'm like sitting there pumping gas, and I was like, I do. I said, I missed my daughter's junior prom and her senior prom. I said, I missed both my mom's birthdays. I've said, I miss Easter all the time. I missed every holiday. I said junior prom I missed. I had to drive 12 hours home. So he's looking at me. I'm like, yeah, that's the big ones that got away that bothers me. It ain't the one that jumped off here.
Yeah.
But I look back, and my wife's been so supportive in my family. But after a while, you're like, man, I'm just giving it like it's that balance, you know.
It's a balance.
And like these young men, they are all great young men. Don't any fans on here get it twisted. This guy right here, I call him Eastern, and that just drives my wife crazy. She said, why you call him Eastern? I said, he's like one of them old Eastern bats. He'll just club you over the head with that minnow, you know. But he's a fantastic kid. Fantastic. Targeting smallmouth. We're all leaning in.
214.
Yeah,
We're like getting in a huddle.
It's a pound. Number 5.
Game pound. You can see how much time they take with culling.
Yeah.
If we're at Okeechobee sometime, if it ain't even close, you know what I mean? Like you're like, I need a big one. But here, 1 ounce.
Yeah.
And the weight and the fish size are so close. Everybody's been meticulous, weighing them, putting them on a coil beam, putting buoys on them.
That's another difference. We mentioned we were joking about what you need to be good at FFS, and we talked about the butt seat and the mustache. But I think a scale is another one of those.
Dude.
Like, gee, we're old school.
Yep.
We put them on a beam. We eyeball them. We put them on a beam. I think gravity doesn't lie, and my system for it's so quick. I watch these guys. They catch one and they're waving, and it's like 5 minutes. They're still trying to wave.
Time doesn't matter.
Time doesn't matter, and it drives me nuts. But it's so critical for these guys.
Yep.
You can see it right here. Here we go, day one. We're way past the halfway mark on day one. I never imagined to see this stack of weights in this group like we've got right now. From that 18 to 14 pounds to be in the top 10 right now. Dude, this is shaping up.
I wish somebody could throw up the average weight of the top 10 right now. Ronnie Moore, if you're out there and in suits, you guys are the number guys. Somebody throw me up the average age of the top 10 with an hour left to go in a day or something, an hour and a half, whatever time frame we have.
Looking at that list, too, they had the top 10 up there for us. I would say 1 out of the top 10 not using forward face. And again, this is just a guess.
You're just guessing.
I'm just a guess looking at the names, but you know, incredible. Very, very dominant technology being dominant here on day one at the class, you know.
Are smallmouth still making up most of the top 10 today?
I think they are, but didn't they drop the size limit here, Ike?
They did. Yeah, it used to be 18 or 19. They dropped it to 15, so they're definitely a lot more in play.
So, in all fairness, when Gussie won the Classic, and Gussie's our boy, he's the nicest guy in the world. He's won and led every tournament day he's ever fished on this body of water. And he was doing the old what they call it, the moping technique over them and making them rise up.
Yep.
Had Gussie been able to keep 15-inch smallmouth, we might have seen a much different weight. You know what I mean? He was like, it was so hard. And other guys, I was in it. I was scared to fish for him.
Right.
Because I'm like, man, I'm going to be the guy that catches 6, 17 3/4 and not weigh in one.
Big risk.
Yeah.
And he took such a huge risk.
Yeah.
But with it coming down to 15 inches, I think we're going to see naturally, we should have figured many more 13 to 14 pound bags.
Right. Yeah.
I like it. He's sitting right in the wind. There's a little bit of a mud line there, a little bit of a color difference. He's not making long cast.
It's not. It's not. That's this hybrid model we talked about. Alex using forward facing and fishing together. Definitely targeting docks. And that's been a big one. G, talk a little bit about that. Most people assume FFS 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 feet of water. The last couple events, including this one, guys using it in 3, 4 feet, 5 feet of water.
The most deadly scopers out there are the ones that are best from 1 to 4 foot to me. That's and it was because it's the hardest to learn.
Right.
And when you see guys doing it, and it's dominated our events, and that's as much as what he's doing. So what's happening is these guys are adapting to where there's not as much pressure. So we can all get in the middle and troll, and if a fish is out in front of you, he's glowing, everybody throws at him. But what they're doing, they're like, okay, I'm going to go back to the bank where there's not as many fish, but there's not as much pressure.
Right. It's crazy. Very, very interesting. Wow, did he actually make a pitch
Did
there?
he pitch?
Yeah.
Did he pitch? Oh.
Yeah.
He just threw the first pitch out.
Elizabeth!
Elizabeth.
I'm having the big one. I'm coming, honey.
We should have had that where we said this is the first pitch of the Bassmasters Classic. Maggie, you could have got up, got your glove, and threw us a fastball in there.
This is kind of like the old Sanford and Son sitcom here.
Yes.
The three of us today.
The budget was low, very low on
Yeah.
this pickup team.
Clearly.
We're kind of like the scabs in the NFL.
Yeah. Who would you be? The original Sanford and Son sitcom that would not air today because of the world today.
Oh,
but
I'm
who
gonna
would
be-
you be on that show?
I'm gonna be. God, I don't want to be Fred. I'm gonna be his buddy Grady.
You're going to be
I'm
Grady.
Grady.
I think you're Grady. I'm not going to be Fred either. I want to be the son. I
Lamont.
want to be Lamont.
What you gonna
Maggie,
be?
who you gonna
Esther?
be?
You Esther?
Yeah. Yep.
The time when Fred Sanford slid by her in the theater and she got mad, she said, "Fred, would you?" He said,
Yeah.
"Not for all the money in the world." Comedy
I'll
at
take
its
that.
best.
Yeah.
Speaking of one of the best in the world,
Oh,
and there's
yeah.
your highlight reel, Mr. Chris Johnson, which I said earlier in the podcast this year, I put him as the top fisherman in the world right now.
Yeah. Really
And
good.
to win back-to-back AOYs, you and I know, Ike,
That's
that's
impossible.
just, it's almost impossible.
It's almost impossible.
Especially at this level of competition with what we're talking about, the young powerhouses. He was able to balance that and
crazy.
still win it.
Yeah.
And he catches them everywhere. Doesn't matter. Great scoper.
Such a phenomenal
flipper.
feat. Yeah.
Yep.
And both the brothers, both the Johnson
Yes.
brothers, so good. And it gets back, we talk about that repetition again. And I know their story, and from a very young age, fishing almost every day. Fishing for smallmouth, largemouth, shallow, deep. And that repetition pays off. And these guys have had so much experience. And now you see them bringing that to life
he
in the
is.
Bassmaster.
So how ironic is it that two of the top fishermen in the U.S. today is Canadians, and the U.S. finally won the hockey deal after 50
that?
years.
Payback.
We got us the payback going on. It's what the Johnson brothers get for pounding us so
Yeah,
much.
a little payback.
Well, I don't know. He's hooked up.
Yeah,
is
he's
hooked up.
fishing. He's fishing in the chute area where Gussie won, and he's one of the best at that moping technique, and then using it once they find him and bring him up off the bottom and trying to catch him. And I just like this guy's demeanor. He's just
Yeah.
always smiling.
Yeah.
You know.
Very laid back. Good attitude, good feel.
Yeah, he's not a giant.
It surprises me that this area is
He'll help,
producing again.
Biggest
Yes.
one of the
It
day.
really does.
He just boat flipped him.
He followed that for probably 200 feet, and my minnow was about 4 feet below the surface over 100 yards, and he just kept following it. Pretty cool, actually. It's a decent one. I'm gonna get under your foot there. Sorry.
Would you have stuck with him for 200
He
feet?
said he
G?
followed it for almost 200 feet. He just kind of, he'd pitch it back out there, and he just runs up on it, stays on it. And I mean, I would have probably panicked and dropped the bait low. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like dropped it out of sight or tried something different, but he kept the same presentation, and it worked. He's still working the mud line here. Alex has not given up, and he's not fishing fast down that bank. He knows there's a bunch of them there.
It's crazy that area that we just saw Chris in, of course, really became famous in the last couple classics here. And in my mind, I think about that pressure. And I'm like,
Yes.
there is no way that area can keep producing.
Right.
And here we're seeing more fish caught again.
And just for the record, I got my butt kicked in the last classic that Gussie won here, the last event he won here, but I was one of the only anglers that didn't go fish that. He said, "Gee, you were the only one I didn't see there." I'm like, I don't want to see you whoop me. I don't want to
Yeah.
know which hand. And like, because it's an art. Everybody went in there, but it was not easy to catch them.
Right.
For
Okay.
some of us less experienced anglers over here, I'm asking for a friend. What's holding the fish there? Like what?
It's current. It flows back and forth. It's
Okay.
what connects the two lakes. So even if we don't have current flow from either dam, wind flow, current pushes, and it's like a funnel. All
Okay.
the water's wide here, and it pushes in. And if the wind blows the next day, it'll push it back this way, and it's deeper, and it's got nice rock on the bottom, and it does this. So it's more fishes like a small little section of St. Lawrence River. So this fish just get right on the bottom. And what Gussie was explaining is when the current really got to moving, if the dam's generated, it sucked them to the bottom so much, he would just drop a minnow down and using 2D and just sit there and hold it. And when they rose up on it, he would catch them.
Right.
So that's why all the northern guys are there, because it's like the St.
They
Lawrence
know.
River.
They
Yeah.
understand how to do it.
The old moping technique.
The old moping. I mope a lot, but it's usually when I first wake up.
Yeah, I feel mopey.
Me too,
lately.
brother.
Just moping around. What are y'all doing? Just hanging around. That's what I feel like in a weighing line sometimes.
Eating bread.
Just eating bread. Just getting fat and sassy.
You know, this is a good chance. Again, I think we see these names up here on the screen. We're looking at a screen here. We're looking at Alex fishing again. And the one to the left, Toyota. Gee, has there been a bigger sponsor in the sport of fishing that has an effect on growing the sport?
It's made this big. There's been sponsors come in, but there's never been sponsors of this magnitude stay in the sport and show their undying support for that fishing across the country. Not just the elites. They have the bonus bucks. They have the Toyota Owners Tournament. They've done more for fishermen outside of this Coliseum than any other brand I've ever seen.
I love it. Growing the sport, kids, new people. Maggie, talk about Bassmaster. That's been such a big program. I've got 3 daughters. We needed something like this to happen in the sport. Talk about it.
Yeah. Well, whenever people ask me about you, one of the things I say is how much I appreciate that you love seeing us out here.
I love it.
It's for your daughters to look up to, and that means a lot to me. But Toyota and Bassmaster have been just so supportive of us ladies. And, I mean, there are so many gals fishing at the high school and college levels, but it seems like they kind of truly, for lack of better words, kind of fall off and don't continue. I mean, we're seeing more and more gals in the opens and fishing kayak tournaments, which I love to see. And heck, we love seeing gals just fishing from shore, or, with their significant others. It's great. Not everyone, their goal isn't to make it to the Elite Series and be on the front deck, but we just want to reach all the ladies out there, whatever their goal is. Maybe it's working for someone like a Toyota.
Tell them about the programs that y'all do.
Exactly,
I mean, I actually come and watched you guys at the Toyota Owners Tournament. We were there, and y'all were putting on one of your classes that morning, and I'm like, I'm curious. And you guys did a phenomenal job.
You led a little bit of casting practice as well, which was awesome. But so essentially we kind of bop around the country and host workshops. We have a podcast as well, but the workshops are just for ladies to come out, connect. So many of them have made, I don't want to say lifelong friends. We don't know yet,
Absolutely.
right? But they've stayed in touch.
It's a comfortable environment. What I noticed about you ladies, Christine and Anastasia and yourself and all the girls, it was like one-on-one. There's no, like, if I want to ask a question, I can ask a question.
Yeah.
And there's no, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but it was very relaxed.
Exactly.
And from a beginner to the most advanced, they could ask a question from backing the Toyota. What's the key to backing up to how to cast? I'm like, man, we needed this so bad.
Yeah, it's truly, it's for everyone. And to toot my own horn, like our Wednesday night series, when I first started, I think I was the only gal doing it. And it just takes one gal showing up to make the others feel more comfortable. And now there's a ton. I mean, there's a ton of gals that come out for our Wednesday night series back at home. So just having that representation is so important. And I mean, look at how many gals are here walking around today and again, competing in the opens and kayak tournaments. I love to see it. So
it's awesome. And here's the thing, Toyota's growing the sport, getting new people involved. But they also got a great product. I like that too. And like, I think we're a good testament. G, we've been in the trucks for a long time. Maggie, you've been in the truck for a long time now. Dude, it's an amazing product. It's an amazing product. Give me your favorite things.
Best braking. I'm going with the brakes because I don't always pay attention. I'm just being honest. I don't always pay attention. I may be distracted. Oversized brake drums and calipers, like we can stop on a dime. Pulling a big boat, 21 footer.
Super important with a boat on the
Yes.
Maggie?
Yeah, I mean, any angler that's hauling a boat needs a truck, and this is the only truck that pays you to fish. But we're traveling all around the country all the time, which you get a little stiff, get a little uncomfortable. I'm going to go with an obscure feature here, but that lumbar support. It's so nice to change it. You're 5 hours in, you start not liking that, maybe set it back a little bit just to change your posture a little bit. That makes long trips just so much more bearable.
And you're not a super tall lady, but you're pretty tall.
I'm not sure.
Right. So the comfort of the truck, like, do you feel like, for me, I'm pretty tall, and I get in there, I'm like, I'm pretty comfy, man.
Oh, yeah. Anyone that gets into my Tundra says there's a ton of room in here.
I'm going to go with, my answer is power. I always like to go with the power one. Gone up hills, down ramps, I love the power. But I want to sneak this other one in here, which is, and this year, it's cool because my truck's here, which is cool. They put it in the back this year.
Look at that.
Yeah, they actually have my truck here. A lot of people around there probably vandalizing the truck, Jay.
Yeah, scratching it up.
Yeah, keying it up. They don't like me. But
putting G-Man stickers on it.
One of the coolest things I love is, and I'm looking around at these other trucks, is the looks of that truck. And I just love the styling And gee, we've been how many years tricking them out? And I love
17,
oh, dude,
16,
it's
18.
been so fun. Like not just my
Yes.
truck, but watching your trucks over the years.
Because when we first started, we didn't get the hey y'all jack them up,
Right.
And then we were like, hey, he's a Jersey redneck and I'm a real redneck. And my whole thing was we wanted the youth. I wanted the young kid that dreams of having a jacked up truck to see what it would look
And be like, whoa.
And it's like as soon as they seen one jacked up, they're like, oh God, I'm getting a truck. So I think it's been fun for me to see how we could, we've even had some people drop them down, tuck them in.
Right,
We've had them bring
yep,
them up, but
yep.
I'm a redneck dude. I want to lift everything I got.
Thank you. Yeah.
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 I want in. I want to jack mine up.
Yeah.
Well, I put some, just a couple $1 million, a couple lift kits for Britt. You can have one lifted, and I will go say this live: it does not affect the ride like you would think.
Right.
Now Ike's had some with an 8-9 inch lift,
Yep.
and I've always went with a 6 as the highest.
6 is
But
great.
a 6-inch lift does not affect the ride of your truck.
Yeah. I like that you mentioned the power because I get a lot of people asking me, how does that haul the boat, with the new hybrid engines in it?
The
so much
power is my favorite part. And here's the other thing. I pack my truck. Like I wish they've got the truck parked back there facing us. But if people could open the back up and literally pull those deck drawers out and look at the amount of boxes and baits. And
Heavy tackle.
heavy tackle. And gee, you're lucky. You're in Gunnersville. You're centrally located.
You're doing a lot of mileage
For
with that.
Maggie and I, when we start traveling, dude, we got to load. I'm loading that thing up. It's a tackle warehouse on wheels. It really is. So heavy truck, heavy boat, full of gas. It's not even there.
Yeah.
You're looking in that rearview mirror and you're like, wait.
I can't wait for somebody to come by me on the interstate with one of them old tooted up square bodies and gonna rev it up. I'm like, I'm about to run you down. You're gonna get to tell all your buddies that Papa hurt your feelings, because I'm still gangster like that.
Yeah.
I mean, twin turbos.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
I'm a real paranoid traveler being a gal, so I always got a big old toolbox back there, a pump for the tires, a tire repair kit. So there's a lot of weight.
Room. Yeah,
there's a lot of weight back there.
Just in case. Here we got back, and these are, are these the two best right now in the
Yes,
sport?
yeah.
Not just in the sport, but using this technology.
Yes,
Are these the
yes.
two best?
Two
kids?
best.
Yeah.
Two best.
Fisher and
hands down.
Trey, and of course both in the top 10 right now. I really do predict this is. You don't need a genius to predict this. You're going to see these guys in the hunt on Sunday. These
Yes.
guys will be right there. If they remain in the top 10, you're going to see it come down on one of these guys. And it may come down to a cast or following a fish on that last day. It'll be a big difference maker.
It'll be, and something was on here a minute ago, and I want to try to go back and talk about it. We were watching Alex throw his jerkbait. So when we were all talking, I'm watching him, and he casts, and he does the typical rod down, twitch, 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 twitch. And I don't know if anybody at home has seen it. All of a sudden, he stopped, and he starts this up high. Ta, 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 ta. So if you'll notice that what it is, the bait's getting down too deep, and they'll stop it and start doing it fast up, not long stroke. He's just reversing that on a jerk bait because you're trying to keep the bill. So you watch Fisher do it all the time. It's chop, 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 and he'll get here and he'll bring it back up, and then he go back down.
Wow.
So it's not just like old school. We're just trying to trigger a bite.
Right.
But they're trying to deliver the bait to an intentional target within an inch of him.
Yeah. Here's
We
here's
got
the-
ours a
yeah,
race.
This is a race. Here's a good look. Now it's
Watch
bumped
me
up to
now.
14.5 to be in the top 10 right now. We've
Wow.
got Fisher, Paul Marks, up there at the top with 18 and 17. This is a
we got a
race.
Drew Cook. Hold up, folks. We got breaking news. We got somebody with a full beard in 8th place, Mr. Drew Cook.
The only one, in my opinion, who really knows, but probably the only one actually freestyle fishing here.
I'm going to bet everything I own that Drew Cook has caught some off the bed today.
It could be.
No, he catches them everywhere we go on bed.
It could be. Here's the other thing I noticed, and it's interesting that as we look at these different anglers, the conditions are dramatically different. Totally different. Like I've seen calm, and now back to Alex here, and dude, it's rolling where he's at right there. So this is a big lake. Of course, two lakes connected. A lot of fishable water, but interesting how the conditions are different depending on where these guys are at.
Something I struggled with early on, Ike, when I first started getting into all the FFS and learning it, because I was the guy that once I watched I fished at St. Clair one time, and I'm in a group of guys, and they beat me like I stole money from my grandma. And I'm like, okay, when I drove home to Alabama, I'm like, this is over. I'm going to buy whatever they got, and I'm going to try to see what's going on.
Yeah.
But I was so misled thinking that conditions, weather, water affected that. And it took me 2 or 3 years to realize nothing Mother Nature does affects FFS.
Right.
They either go up or down, but you can still find them.
Right.
And I was always worried, like, well, it's going to blow out this and it's going to blow out that. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I would run from that because I didn't quite understand. Old school, you know what I mean? Like if your water got blew out, you're going to go do something else.
Yeah.
Makeup lady coming in on a set.
Oh, yeah.
No hitting below the belt.
Love it.
So it looks like he's picked his minnow up.
Gotten off those docks.
Turned out into the, got his nose into the wind.
Out in the great abyss.
So Maggie Joe, if you're a diehard scoper, would you prefer, what do you think the preferred direction is from the diehard scopers? Into the wind or against the wind, like Bob Seeger said?
How should I know?
100% against the wind.
Against.
Yes, because if you're with it, you're pushing too fast, and you may not get that second or third
Control's
cast.
not there.
Yeah.
They will fight going into it because you're not trying to make long casts with light. Like they got a spinning rod, and they can control the boat. Now, when we had the brakes, when the guys ran those,
Oh, yeah.
you would see them go with the wind.
Right.
But the rule was so fine that if you put them down and started them moving and you manipulated your bait to you, it was breaking a rule.
Right.
So
Almost like strolling.
Almost like strolling. So
Right.
the anglers and bass agreed that this was not a great mix. So now you see every one of them turn and fish into the wind because they need to be slower
Yeah.
because they might want to take 3 or 4 looks to try to get one to show. And if it's pounding wind in your back, like you just don't have time to do that.
Yeah, control.
It's interesting, all them little things that I was thinking it never mattered, but it matters.
Yeah.
I mean, me having my boat for like 3 days now, all that stuff that I'm learning. And there's how hard, like they make it look so easy, but how hard it is to make that accurate cast. Keep your foot on the pedal,
Yeah.
you know, to keep
Just
making
boat
those little
control in general.
adjustments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just whether you're fishing the shoreline, when people come and say, hey, what's the first thing I need to teach my kid if he wants to get in fishing? I'm saying how to run the trolling motor. And they look at me, I'm like, get him to run that trolling motor where he doesn't look down.
Yeah.
So it's you and I,
Natural.
you and I,
natural.
both foot, either way.
Yep.
I said, when that becomes his natural muscle memory, you'll automatically see him get better.
Yeah.
Because I said, that's the hardest thing to learn.
Yeah. Let me remind everybody watching, we are at the Bassmaster Classic.
Yes.
This is the 2026 Bassmaster Classic in Knoxville. Dude, it never gets old. Like, last
No.
couple years I've missed it, G, and it hurts missing
Yep.
it. But being here, looking around, dude, this is one of the, if not the biggest shows in all of fishing. It
All
really
of fishing.
is.
This
In
is the
all of
Mac
fishing.
Daddy.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. I love it. Looking around, people are getting to come out and see new products, meet the pros, you know, get to hear stuff like this, get to see these amazing trucks.
If fishing wasn't hamburger, it would be a Big Mac.
Big Mac.
This is
Oh,
the
yeah.
Big Mac of Mac Daddies, and it's always gotten bigger, right?
Yeah.
And I like it was so cool because him and I, Maggie, like he made his first classic the year after I'd made my first one, so I was pretty new. Here comes this kid in from Jersey. We had those vests on. Oh my God,
vest, yeah.
the birth control vest. I don't know how my wife ever found me attractive wearing that vest, but it's like that was so old school. And the classic seemed huge at New Orleans when
Yeah,
you won.
it did.
Remember, we're in the
Oh,
dome
yeah.
and you won, and I'm like, man, it doesn't get any better than this. And now I'm 32, 33 years into it, and I'm like, boy, it just keeps getting better every year. I don't know how we do it.
Bigger and better.
Like,
Bigger
it's
and better.
pretty impressive, the amount of effort. And let's also say thank you to every sponsor here, not just mine. I
Yeah.
love having Humminbird and Toyota and Phoenix here, but listen, it takes everybody.
Yeah.
It takes every boat company in the industry. It takes every motor company, every electronic company. That's what makes this so great. We can come together in the same pot
Yeah.
and have a gumbo. And if we isolated those people, it's not the same.
Yeah.
I
And
love
it wouldn't be anything if it weren't for all the fans that came out too
Oh,
Fans are
and
great.
watched at home.
Yeah.
yes. And there's a lot of people watching at home.
There's a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, that's changed a lot. You know, the coverage of this event has gotten so much better. You know, I've heard this talked about before, but the days of when you watched a classic, you didn't know a lot of times until that night or the next day or until it aired who the winner was. Now, instant gratification. We're here. We're commenting on this stuff.
Yep.
And
So Maggie, I'm gonna make a confession.
Here we go.
One time at band camp, in the old days before all this live, people would come to watch, and they would follow us 40, 60, 70, 100 boats chasing you. So when I hear these young guys goes, they shouldn't give out my location, I'm like, you need to shut up.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what it's like having 75 people chasing you, and you got to go to the bathroom.
Oh,
And one time we was at Wiley, and Ike and Nellie had a big crew chasing him, and I had a big crew chasing me, and he went in a pocket that I kind of wanted to go into, and his crowd got settled, and I decided to just run on in there and wash it all out. So my crowd run over his crowd, blew the whole pocket out. The guy said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Defensive strategy."
Yeah.
And
We're just going to change the water clarity.
And I'm riding out there. He goes, "Who are you looking for now?" I'm like, "Van Dam." It was literally a strategy, and I tell you how important it was. Van Dam was the first person that I ever seen that could control that crowd and utilize it to his advantage. Because if he's seen you and his crowd was on you, you about to get mosquitoed. He's going to drive them by you, try to drop some of them off at you. Like, it become a weapon.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was an art, because the problem is, Mag, if we fished in a pocket and there was 50 boats behind you, we can't run through them. Trust me, I know. They sent me home one time from it. So you had to idle through. So so having that crowd was actually a lot of times a huge disadvantage.
Yeah.
Right.
And to like see how you learn to handle it. So now we have more at home watching, and we have spectators on the water, but not like it was back in the day.
Not at all. Not at all. Definitely a different environment. Speaking of different environments,
Looky here.
dude, we've got, let's talk about the opposite end of the spectrum. We've got Brian Schmidt, Seth Feider, both really, more largemouth type guys, shallow water guys, and you could see the water clarity here. They are in a different place in these lakes. You see Seth in heavily stained and Brian in really, really muddy, almost chocolate milk water. But, like, look where they're at. Like, honestly, I'm surprised. And the reason I say that is I thought this was going to be more of a shallow water, deep water battle, old school FFS battle. And here, look at it, G. We're after one now. We've got a dominant FFS clear water campaign going on here, and a lot of these guys are.
And Seth and Brian, two of the best you're going to get to mix it up shallow. These guys, I mean, Fighter knows his way around a jig.
Right.
And if anybody can make one by one. I tell anybody that's watching, Seth Fighter's probably the best grass jig fisherman in the country.
Yes.
If it comes to flipping milfoil, he's about to get you. So. You see his strategy, get smaller, maybe not the numbers of bites, but I get the good bites.
Right.
But he says can't hardly keep up when they're just plucking those 4-pounders off.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And this may change. Here's the other thing, guys. There's, sometimes the last couple hours of a day in this dirty water is the best, right?
For just fishing, it is.
Right.
I heard a lot of people yesterday say, the fish in our little deal bit, some guys had them bite later, some had them bite a little bit earlier.
Right.
So if you're just fishing and staying water in the wintertime, it's 100% a evening bite most of the time, the 12 to 4. Unfortunately, don't know where Brian's at, but the guys that are way up the other side of Tellico, you hear Fisher say he's got to leave an hour and something early just to get gas.
They're far.
They're far, far away.
Far.
So they may not get to wait that bite out.
Right.
Where if you were just 10, 12 miles down from the ramp, that last hour, you may have left the back of Tellico in second or third place, and the time you get to the ramp, you may have fallen 3 or 4 spots because the guys who fish closer, the fish turn on and they catch you.
Right.
Fisher bumped down to second now.
Who took him over?
I don't know.
I'm glad you can see that.
Yeah, we definitely got a battle going on here. This is not a blow-away classics. I can tell you from a fan perspective.
JT Thompson has took over the lead.
Wow. I can tell you from a fan perspective, I love these close classics.
Yes.
Gee, we've watched a couple over the years where it was a blowout.
Yes.
And a couple like this where you're within a pound anyway. And I like these a lot.
All-time favorite classic, Ike, that you fished. Now, I'm talking about over the years. Which one was your favorite to ever fish?
I mean, minus the 2003 Bassmaster Classic that I won. I love the Takahiro Classic. I thought was a great one. I fished in that one, but I love the way that happened.
Yeah.
I love that drama and those last-minute victories. They're my favorite.
I'm Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh was a great one.
Lowest weight ever.
Lowest weight ever. Best fan base ever.
Oh, it was insane.
But it was anybody's game up to the last couple casts. It really, really was.
That's
And on the last day of that classic, I think Van Dam beat me 15 ounces. I ended up third. I had a limit the first 2 days, and on day 3, I ended up with 4, and I lost my 5th fish 4 times.
Yep.
Oh.
And that's when you know you're not supposed to win the Bassmasters Classic.
Yeah.
And I was sitting, I told Kevin, I said, because I've always been like Kevin. I'm like, this is the man. We were getting ready to walk out of the green room, and I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I give you this one.
Yeah.
Like they were so close, and Aaron had some real close calls.
Aaron in that tournament, very similar. I think he had to win and fish hook 3 or 4 times too.
Just couldn't land them.
Yeah, I actually had a good classic in that one, but the Hooters boat came out the last day of the tournament.
That's what got you.
Me.
Distracted you.
That's why I didn't win that one.
I see Fisher still got some nice ones that he sees on the screen, and I seen him catch one right then, and it looked pretty nice. That right there, when he pans back down and that screen tilts, look at the size of those. He's looking around. He's like, I'm checking in.
He's so calm.
He's a goose.
And this is, again, it's crazy to me to see. This is his first classic, correct?
It doesn't matter to him.
First classic.
There's a big one. There's a big one. Watch
and he's just calm.
He's gonna no. He
Drop
realized the fish was swimming to him.
Yep.
You see how quick he acknowledged that? So he's not going to waste any time. He's placing it that's a foot and a half above him. You notice he don't want to go below him, so he's going to burn it out. He's like, okay, you had your chance. Now I'm going to reposition and do it again.
Got some standing timber.
Got a little timber. He's still hunting him, and you see how hard he is to see because you see Fisher moving it up and down.
Yeah.
But he's just, and that looked like a really good fish too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. As I watch this, it reminds me of I spent a lot of time with Vegas in his boat, and here's another one creeping along that we see. Vegas, these young guys are very good at analyzing a fish by its movements and telling what kind of fish it is.
Carp.
Gee, I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm looking at.
It's swimming, Ike. Let's throw everything we got at it.
But
Maggie hit him with a crankbait. Ike, you get him with a worm, and I got him with a jig.
But this is a great question. Like, how are they so good at looking at a mark and saying, no, that's a catfish, that's a carp. Oh, no, he's moving too fast. Oh, it's too blobby. It's too transparent.
It's not even that. It's like sometimes when I'm a fisher, he's doing this panning. He's going, carp. He said, catfish, look at this tail. And the whole time we're panning, and then he'll stop me and go, that's about a 6-pounder right there. Watch this. And it's like a 5.5 or 6.
Wow.
Like he will tell you almost every time. He's so accurate on picking the big ones out where you and I might get caught up fishing for a lot of fish. What I've noticed about them guys, they don't fish for any little ones.
Right.
They
just want bigs. Bigs only.
Yep. And you and I are like, that dot could be. And at Lake Martin, for example, a lot of crappie shallow.
Yeah.
And they was just glowing in them trees. And I'm like, I think it's a crappie.
Yeah.
But I still got to throw.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you add that up and it wastes a lot of time. Before you know it, you spent 2 hours crappie fishing.
All jokes aside, you waste. I mean, you're like the kid at the junior high dance that knows the hot girl ain't going to dance with you, but you keep asking, and you just wasted your whole night.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take long when you realize I lost an hour against a kid like that ain't going to throw. You're like, okay, now I know where I'm at.
Yeah. There's one on the bottom.
Yes.
Like that. See, that's the one, if you're watching this right now, they're the ones the average dude doesn't pick
and
up
he tilted. Oh, God, he did tilt. He launched, but he didn't. Watch it. Oh, he spun around.
Yep.
See, he spun around. Now he's following, and he went right back down.
Oh, boy. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. He looks calm. I'd be shaking right now.
Yeah, I'd get a dude wipe out about right here and say, let me do a little cleanup on that. And look at that one in the timber.
Yep.
Now, I mean, it could be a carp. I don't know, but he's throwing at it. We're fixing to
So it
find out.
must not be.
No.
Might be that same fish.
He could have went back that fast.
Is there one on the bottom there, too?
Oh. Let's see what happens. No.
No response.
God.
Wow.
That's how I felt at that dance in junior high.
That's a big mark.
Yeah,
no
it is.
response.
That's a big mark.
That's a big mark.
Yeah.
And he's working it like he.
Yeah.
You
Keeps
notice
throwing.
one thing I noticed is you notice how he don't want to bring the fish to him. Like a lot of times I won't give up on that cast. I'll just keep working it, thinking, and he'll slowly drift your way. But I think what I'm doing is putting myself out of range. Like he's getting too close to me.
Right.
You know. And if I notice this, like I've watched a lot of footage from some of these great ones, they don't ever throw very far.
Right.
It's not like that's a long cast right there at 50 foot. He's manipulating his bait. It's fast, slow, fast. He's trying to figure out right now. If I'm standing there with him, I know what he's going to say. Gee, I'm trying to figure out what's going to make him move. He said, I'm just trying to see what's going to happen. And he may go through 6 presentations, and then all of a sudden.
Yeah, this is crazy. So the other thing that really, as I'm watching this, it shocks me is the amount of fish that he's looking at out there. We've seen 3 or 4 in 2 minutes here talking about it. The other thing, once again, I want to stress this. Look at the depth. We're talking about he's in 10 to 11 foot, 9 to 11 foot. This, to me, like, I think this was a big misconception for me early on with forward facing. You don't have to be deep. This is shallow scoping right here.
And that was me, dude, the first 2 or 3 years I had it. when I went shallow, I just looked for brush. I had no idea that I could like catch those.
Right.
He's still kind of flirting with that fish. He's not give up yet.
Crazy.
And he did make a long cast on that one too.
All right, so here's the hardest thing you'll notice. See him throwing sideways? You know how hard that is, like every time?
Yeah.
When you start throwing hard right or hard left, 90-degree cast, those are the hardest to learn.
They're hard.
Straight out in front, it's no problem.
Yeah.
And over the years, you know, I've gotten very accurate with my left to right, but you watch him, he'll put it in reverse and throw behind the boat and be that accurate.
I can't do that.
I can't do it. Like when I start trying to hit him behind me, I'm like, nah, I'm just, no.
I don't reckon my baits showed up falling down on a left or right cast a single time yet.
you think your transducer's got a cover over it.
Yeah.
Like
wow.
Look
what
at
we
here.
got here, guys.
Caleb Hudson is who it was, Fisher.
Oh, wait, this is the Rookie of the Year
yes.
standings this year. We've got Caleb Hudson first, Fisher right behind him, Pig South right behind him. Look at these names. These names are incredible.
Tristan McCormick, my boy T-Mac sitting right down there.
Yep, Nick Trim in 5th place. It's going to be a heck of a race this year, Jim.
Yes, it's going to be a whoo.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to wear their shoes.
No.
I'm just trying to race up out of the bottom of the points and get back in the Classic.
Oh, I know. I'm right there with you. Yeah. Once again, Bassmaster Classic, guys. I hope you're enjoying this. This is fun. I think this is the first
Having
time.
fun, Maggie?
Yeah, this is the first time Toyota's
Having a great
done
time.
Never
this at
done
the
this,
booth.
yeah.
So this is pretty cool.
And I think it's cool because we get to see the fans walking by. They're taking pictures. They can see the screen, and then you got all kind of stuff going on. But it shows, I think, to the fans, it may give a perspective of how much is involved to get this back to them at home.
Right.
It doesn't happen easy. There's a lot of technology, a lot of wires in front of us, Maggie.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of wires.
Yes. Speaking of the fans at home, I want to remind everybody, if you are in the Knoxville area, come on out and hang with me. I've got an Ike Live after party at Scruffy's on Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. Come on out, sponsored by Bass and Bucks. It's going to be a great event. We're going to have a couple cocktails.
There's lots of stuff going on. I think Luke Duncan's probably playing tonight somewhere.
Oh, that's awesome.
Going to do him a low-budget live, and he always plays, and then you got all this going on here. You can come out, and the guys who don't make the final cut going into Sunday, if you can't get here to Sunday, a lot of those guys will come attend the Classic and work the sponsors booth. We're going to be working every booth. We're going to be hustling around, but we're doing got a couple hours each day on this. I hope you guys enjoy it. But you need to come out to the Coliseum and see what's going on. The weigh-in's free. You can go to the weigh-in. Parking ain't free, but the weigh-in's free.
I need to give one last plug to our Bassmaster workshop happening tomorrow too. So ladies in the area, make sure you come out by the Bassmaster booth and hang out with us.
So who it's going to be you?
Me, Christine Fisher, Anastasia Patterson, and Kylie Short.
Yes.
For as ambassadors, but hopefully we have a big old group of ladies.
And y'all have some other ladies that come in and support sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's kinda cool.
There are a ton of hammers that'll be here. So.
And what I've found is like you'll have ladies drive to help you that's not local.
No.
Just to be involved with it. So it shows that there's such a desire to learn and be involved. And I hope you ladies rock it to the point like where in a couple of years we're watching a young lady sitting out there, maybe yourself going.
I'm ready to watch it.
Yeah, and it could happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happening faster.
There's some gals coming up that I think will be up there.
Yeah.
So
well,
see. That's what this whole thing's about.
I think there's a few tournaments. If it was just all natural fishing and on scoping, I think a few of you gals are about ready right now.
Yeah, I do love that about the sport of fishing. You know, I'm a fan of other sports, but in this sport, I feel like it's as open opportunity as anything.
Yes.
You know, wherever you're from, different parts of the country, different backgrounds, different genders. It's you against the fish. And I love that. I love that about the sport. I love it.
Last night, I mean, what about the Pro-Am? If you were in Knoxville and you didn't get to come to the weigh-in at the Pro-Am and to kind of meet the fans and the little meet and greet, we had a lot of great fishermen there. Man, there were some cool athletes there. You know, Big Will Anderson played at the University of Alabama. You know, you're seeing all these football players. We had the WWE guys there, baby.
Yeah.
I tried to come off the top rope on one of them. I said, hang on, let me stretch his new knee out. But, like, to see and you know what was so cool is, like, you got the bass player for the Red Clay Strays. You got Cole Wetzel. They love fishing.
Yep.
It was so incredible. It's like this. They don't want to talk about what they do. They want to talk about what we had Randy Moss.
Right.
Steve Harvey, the funniest man alive.
Yeah.
And what's all in common? They love fishing.
Love fishing.
Yep.
Steve Harvey, he's showing everybody his fish he caught with Kevin.
I saw that.
And
Yeah,
I'm
he's
like,
not talking about Family Feud. He's showing
and
fish
see,
pictures.
and I got questions. Like
Yeah.
I got questions. I'm ready to play Family Feud, but I want to ask Steve the questions. I'm loaded.
Oh.
Because I want to ask Steve, like, if you could pick a lure out of your tackle box that best describes your wife, what would it be?
Oh my gosh.
Loaded.
A wacky rig.
A wacky rig.
Don't give all my answers away. I want to put him on the spot. But to see these people come from everywhere.
Oh, God.
I mean, there were some incredible athletes there, and
Yeah.
man, just that kind of that vibe I enjoyed mixing, and because I'm curious about what people do. We had a desert racer that guy that races those trucks.
Saw that.
And he was like, "Come on out and race with me." I'm like, "It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna get car sick and puke in your nice vehicles. We jumped those sand dunes, And you know what he said? His adrenaline was so high in that boat. He said, "Dude, I was so jacked up." And he runs 130, 140 through the
Yeah.
desert. He said, "I was like white knuckling the sea."
Wow.
And I said, "I do that a lot after Waffle House." But to see, like, he was generally jacked up
Excited.
to be inside of our world. And I
Yeah.
think we need more of that.
We need more, for sure.
It's just so cool to see this sport bring all of those people from different walks of life together yesterday.
And just
It was a
have fun
blast.
with it. Everybody
Yeah.
side betting, trying.
Yep.
Of course, David Mullins is trying to hustle all of us because he lives here.
What do you mean, try?
I knew it. I knew when he starts texting me, "Hey, you got a side bet?" And I'm like, "Hang on now.
Oh, man.
I'm getting sold some gutters and don't even have a house here." I'm like, "I'm not betting you, man."
Oh, man.
Fisher still chasing one.
Still chasing. I'm looking at this. The other thing,
Let me see
is
what he should have to start weighing. Is that 3 today? So let
Yeah.
me see what I'm thinking.
he said he needs an hour to run
He
back.
said it's 125. I'm betting he's within his last 20 minutes of
Yeah.
fishing, maybe.
Yeah.
So-
Here's the other thing. With forward facing, with what a lot of these anglers are doing, the rod and the reel, the line, it's all very, very important. So I'm watching him. Dude, he's reeling his bait back. Makes another cast.
Yeah, he's throwing a much faster spinning reel than we normally fish.
Yeah.
Growing up, you threw a 5 or a 6 to 1. Some of these guys were throwing a 7 to 1 speed spinning reel. But I was going to quiz you a minute ago. What pound test do you think most of these guys use on a leader when they're just FFSing?
Ooh.
This is for the fans too. What do you think?
I mean, normally I'd guess 8 to 10, but I feel like it's got to be more. They're boat flipping 4-pounders.
Most of them are using 16 to 18.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
You watch.
I was
watch
going to be way off.
Fiota, and like, dude, when I say pencil sharpener, they just point the rod and just wind them. Fisher's using 14, 16, like he said, dude, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, and in my mind, I'm always at 8 to 10 pound. When Tucker Smith won, he blew Fork out, but you see him, he's winching on them big guys. Like so I'm think the misconception is, I think at Great Lakes it might matter.
Right.
But you and I are notorious. That was how we got our bites when things got tough. We downsized.
Right.
And now you're like, no, that don't matter. It's just about where you put the
it's
bait.
presentation.
Yeah.
It's presentation. The other thing is we watch Fisher and a lot of these guys. Gee, I want you to talk about it. Maggie, talk about it. I see these guys, the shake, right? We call it the magic shake, the minnow shake, whatever you want to call it. Dude, that is an important part of that minnow, right? And it's that rocking. Have you found out how to do this correctly? It's like it's almost like they're putting slack in the line and taking it out.
Yes.
Is that the right thing?
And they throw the lightest head they can throw.
Right.
And
Right.
most of them throw a lot smaller hook than you would think.
Right.
I mean, tiny hook, because they're trying to get the bait to wobble. And then when it came to the corky ball, the dog toy, it turns totally different. You
Right.
see guys rigging trebles. Ike did a video on it the other day, but like, there's so many sneaky ways they rig that.
Yeah, like
to
loop knots. And
Yes,
Yeah.
they do a loop knot, but you're looking for a roll action, and certain baits do it better, some don't. But they are bad about throwing super, super light heads. But
Right.
it's so hard, like, because if I've watched Wheeler and Cannell, I'm a student of the game, so
Yeah.
I'm watching some of the best I can in every league with it. I'm like,
yeah.
all right, teach me something.
Yeah.
And dude, they're shaking it like the salt shaker.
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
They in the club. It's and I'm like, sometimes when them big ones after around, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just creep it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them guys just keep bringing it. So I hadn't quite figured out which one's the best.
Yeah, I don't know. It's amazing to see that. And I don't think I've mastered it totally to get that minnow to roll, but these guys are so good at it. So good at it. All right, back to Alex Redwine here. Again, here he goes, the
I
hybrid.
thought he was just shaking it, but he was just snagged.
Yeah, he was snagging on a
I thought he
pole.
was-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's watch his, see that jerkbait cast? Watch his right. Oh, it's not a great view here. So watch, he's going to cast. This is what he's normally been doing. He's all right. He's downward.
He's getting it down.
All right, halfway through the cast, he should start to tilt back up a little bit. If the fish is even, if he's trying to pull one up, usually halfway through the cast, he'll start bringing it back. There, all right, there it is. There it is.
Bringing it up. Changing the movement of the bait.
He's changing that direction because if you'll notice on FFS, most of those fish they catch like that is feeding upward.
Right.
So you get that jerk bait down, then you got to get it to come upward to make them feed.
Yeah. Now this is interesting. I wonder as I'm watching this over the next 3 days how these fish will change. Do you see more fish, Maggie and G, or more fish going to come to these shallower guys?
I would say they're coming. I would say they're, wouldn't you, Maggie? Like the temperature's right.
Well, I was going to ask you guys to clarify something for me. I heard Robert G., a local out here on live earlier, saying that these first 2 days we're going to be a lot of people targeting smallmouth, and that largemouth will be the deal on Sunday. And I didn't know if you guys could dive into that or explain that to me a little
you
bit.
see the trend of the weather.
Right.
You know, it's going to get back. We had some wind, and this is one of the things that I'm going to touch on just a little bit. The super shallow water scopers, those fish are affected by lightning just like spawning fish.
Right.
Yep.
So that was a concern to some of them, so they might have went to fish for smallmouth. But I do think as the water warms after this little front, you're going to see, and this lake has some big largemouth in it. I've had, just fishing one day for the Classic here practicing, I had a 25-pound day.
Wow.
I seen a 7. They live in here. So I do think we will see more of that.
The potential. Yeah, and of course, rumors of a couple of the guys came in practice. Can't remember who it was, 10-pounder being caught. Might have been Alex Redwine with a 10-pounder in pre-practice. Back to Easton. He's out there in the abyss again. Yep. Wind blowing in this section of the lake.
And headed right into it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Easton's tall, too. I don't know. You don't, a lot of times you watch this, you don't get a feeling for how big the guy is.
You see his head bobbing off the screen. If there's a scoper,
swinging on.
He's getting a slackliner hat sent to him today.
Hey, now.
Because I don't care if it's a drum. He just checkmated him.
That ain't
it's
a drum.
bass. He come up.
Dude,
Go
that's
Easton.
a big one.
That's a big one.
That's a heck of a hook set.
I like it. He's getting a hat.
Man,
it's just he's my
Easton.
man, Easton. Get your big self
Heck
into
of a
that.
hook
He
set
went
right there.
baseline and club one.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, God. This is when everybody starts reading the Bible. Help me, Jesus. Please, dear Lord. I won't never cuss again. I love you, Lord. Just don't let it come off.
Big smallmouth.
Right. It looked like a Carolina rig.
Really?
I seen the weight, I think.
Oh, my gosh.
my
That's
God.
a
Oh,
big
my
one,
God.
dude.
I just passed out.
Yeah. He's kind of calm, though, you know?
Yeah.
It's a Carolina rig.
It was a Carolina rig.
I spotted it.
Elizabeth! I'm coming again!
Yes.
Elizabeth!
We have a bass.
The ball and chain!
The ball and chain has come in. You get to revive. Holy Spirit got us now.
I'll bring him back.
Wow.
I mean, Carolina rig looks like he's dragging some type of creature bait and caught a big smallmouth. Yeah, and see, he said I got to hurry, so it's either getting close to him.
He go for a long.
Carolina rig bass fishing. Big one. And I see how he held it out. Big one.
You know what's funny to me, G, is that you can't read that huge text on the screen, but you saw that Carolina.
Well, I struggled to get out of scoop. 490.
490.
And on those scales, that's really close to a 5.
It's almost a 5-pound smallmouth. That's incredible. Now talk about a hybrid using probably the oldest technique out there, a Carolina rig, ball and chain, but using it in conjunction with forward facing. That's crazy.
Yeah. And you were talking about he's a big guy. This guy is 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
So when you see him lean back, Fat Joe had this on lean back. When he hit him on that hook set, he meant it. He's trying to pull every bit of slack. See this? He's wanting all the slack, and then he's reeling. As we talked about in a lot of bass use, it's how fast you can reel on a fish is what keeps them on sometimes.
Is this another one, or is this the same one?
I think this is the same one with just a little highlight reel. Yeah, that's a tank, man. That is a tank. Maggie Joe, what do you call the big fish when you catch them? Do you have like a code word when you get one on?
Oh.
That's another one.
Is that another
No.
one?
That's a different fish.
That wasn't a replay.
No.
Oh, my
He
God.
got on
flipped that one in.
He flipped that one in.
Okay, smallest fish is a 2-pounder.
That's bigger than 2.
Okay.
He got him a little. So,
but he says the smallest on is 2.
Yeah.
So this looks to be a 3+, 3.5.
These last 2 casts is a big deal for
We were
Easton
talking
right
about
here.
that late movement.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. Oh my gosh. So
Got me excited.
Yeah, real quick. So, the term that we use when you get on a little pod of them like that, and we just saw Easton catch 2 big ones back to back, I always called it a scrape.
Yeah.
You're getting a little scrape, and that right there is what you need that to happen 1 or 2 times during the classic
Is that like
to
a
win.
playground scrape, like when you was a
Yeah,
kid?
like a scrape?
Or like, just a little tussle up with a fish. Things are happening quick.
Yeah, it's a scrape. I actually had a scrape here. When the last classic I fished here, I had a spot under a bridge that was a scrape. But
Yeah.
it was short-lived every morning. I'd be able to catch 4 or 5 or 6 in one
They
cast.
just come there and feed
They
in a flurry.
come and feed, and then that was that. But run into a scrape, I think you got to have stuff like that happen to have a chance.
I've always called that window. I've always said in every day of bass fishing for me in my life, there's been a window of opportunity. But I had to learn when the window cracked and when to step in.
Right.
And sometimes we've been there where we go to what we think is the juice and the window's closed and we panic. I think you mill around till you feel that window of opportunity open, and then it's who can step in at the fastest and make that, because it don't last forever. Like you said, it could be 5 minutes, could be 20 minutes, but you got to see it, realize it, and move on it.
Yep. Timing's important. Big
Fisher's
time.
back. He's going to push it down. His mama's going to have an absolute heart attack. She's going to beat him with a flip-flop on the back of the neck if he sits there too long.
He's not stressed, though.
No.
Like, again, we're looking at the back of him here, but, just body language. Like,
he's not stressed.
He's not stressed. He's calm. You said it, G, earlier. Time doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, and you see that little back flip way back here? He's like, I'm just going to reach back here and check that one real quick, make sure he's not aggressive.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah. And then
I'd have hooked the camera guy in the head if I
so my
tried
bad,
doing
my
that.
bad, dog. Can you get that out of your eye? Uh-oh.
I thought, did he just set the hook?
I think he hit his camera guy, and it broke the camera.
Or either he's saying, I've got to go, that's it.
Oh,
but it could have been, because we're getting close to that time frame where he should. I don't know exactly where he's at. I got a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
and
far
he's
run.
got a long run.
Yeah, far run. Yeah.
And it looks choppy.
It does, yeah. It's interesting because those far runs in prior classics, prior events here, G, didn't really pan out as much. And here on the first day, we're seeing a lot of anglers in the top 10.
And I've got a note.
Oh.
This is a lake that I've seen more anglers be laid on than anywhere I've ever fished. And the reason why, you make a 60, 80-mile run going with the current most of the time. All right, and then you turn and reverse that, watering your live wells, you got the Phoenix skint back, and you hit that big current. Well, you got a 40-mile run in a 4-mile-an-hour current. So all the time, your speed gets thrown off. And you'll remember, every time we've been here, someone's late.
Yep.
If they start pulling water, and we had rain, and it flows, somebody making a long run could make a horrible mistake if they push it to the minute. And if you have an opportunity late in the day, you're going to stay as long as you can.
Right.
But the faster that current is, and you've run it, that's a long ride.
It's a big run.
I hope not. I mean, that's what Easton Fothergill has going on right now.
Yeah.
Opportunity late in the day, but he's got to get going.
Yeah, he's got to think about it. It's all strategy.
It's who pushes it the closest,
Yep.
So people say, well, why do you want the fastest boat or the best riding or best performance? It's for this. That's why I want my 921. I want something that when I turn into that, if I had to, really get after it, you could.
Yeah. I've had those, and that's not a good feeling. You have those rides back where you've got a big bag, you're early, the weather's calm. I love those rides.
Yes.
The rides where you know it's going to be within a minute of either way of making your.
Oh my God,
dude!
You're making me stressed just talking about
I'm stressed thinking about it, but I've actually had those events.
Get nervous.
Where I've emptied my live well.
Yes.
5 miles from thinking, well, those fish can make it with a little bit of water. I need to get some of that water out
Arkansas River, Denny Breyer won. There was top 10 day. 9 of us went down. 9 of us got locked out. Aaron Martin stayed on the pool. Denny Breyer had been leading it. We're in the lock. They know when we open the lock, we're going to be down to the minute. And it was so cool because there was 9 of us in the lock, and all 8 of us stood beside each other and said, Denny, you go first.
Wow.
You've been leading it, and this is your time. But I did wink at him. I said, Pops, you better scoot over because I'm bringing it. And I did exactly. I pumped my water down because I knew it was only like a 6 or 7 minute run.
Yeah.
I got the water down where the fish still had water and had oxygen, and I took off, and it makes a difference.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Speaking of locks, by the way, you're watching the 2026 Bassmaster Classic. Hope you're enjoying this. It's brand new this year. We're having a good time. Gee, next 2 elite events, we've got 2 river systems.
Yes.
We've got one that you know pretty well, I think.
Yeah,
right?
a little bit.
We've got the Tom Bigby Waterway, and then, of course, Arkansas River. How important locks? Talk about locks for those events. What are you
This
thinking?
is going to be the ones exactly what you were just talking about, that timing, because when we start lock, the corporate, or you should say barge traffic or commercial traffic, always has the right of way.
Right away.
You live where it goes on every day. So
Yep.
we will be dealing with barges, and there will be a guy, and there's no limit. I think you can lock up or down till you just get tired of locking.
Right.
Somebody will get locked out.
Right.
It never fails because it takes one barge, and when you watch him, and if he gets there, you don't have priority.
Right.
You got to sit. So it's a nerve-wracking
It
deal.
is.
Because I always tell myself in practice, I'm gonna go all the way to grandma's house that way, and then I get down there and catch something, and I start thinking, I'm gonna get locked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Scary.
hard to relax and fish.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's gonna play. Would you going to gamble on locking a bunch, or?
I mean, you know, I think it's after practice I'll have to come up with that decision. You know, I think me and you, with having kind of a rough start in the beginning,
Yep.
we can gamble a little bit more. I
Yep.
think a lot of the anglers that have had 2 solid tournaments right now, they might not gamble quite as much.
Right.
So, you know, I think I'm in a position to try to gamble.
I am, and there's 2 ways to look at that. I've been in this position, like last year I got behind a little bit, and I was like, then I started taking too many chances.
Right.
And then the next thing I know, I'm like, I don't even know if I can dig out now.
Right.
Yeah.
So like you say, you're going to have to see what practice lays out and go, is the risk worth the reward this early on?
Yeah.
At tournament 6 or 7, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
I got to go.
Right.
But here, a solid 25th turns both of our seasons back around.
Right.
You know.
I got it. Was that another one?
No, I think that was a replay of
Okay.
those 2 that he had caught almost back to back.
He's back in
He's
first.
in first.
Yeah, so that's incredible. You have something like that happen. We got on a scrape, back-to-back cast with the oldest rig you could fish, Carolina rig.
He's still watching them.
Yes,
He's looking at
still
them.
using them, combining the old school with the new school.
Here we
Looks like
go.
it might be
Here we go.
loaded
he
up.
feels something.
Oh, yeah. Come on. See, he thought he was about to go on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Surprise attack. He's hit him with the
Oh,
old.
you hit him hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a different hook set, different mentality when you got him on a sea rig.
Yep.
Looks pretty good,
Looks
too,
like another
man.
good fish. Smallest fish is a 215. It's a 3-pounder. Wow.
Yes.
Crazy.
Peter T would be so proud of him right
He would.
now.
He would. Peter T
I'll
would be
explain.
proud.
Peter T was an old school guy that fished back in the day, and he was the most deadly with a Carolina rig that's ever been. He would
I
beat
would
you
agree.
to death with it.
I would agree. The interesting thing I noticed from the first couple fish catches, it looked like, and Maggie looked like a minnow style bait.
Yes.
To me, it looked like a big Sakamata on a Carolina rig.
Yep,
That's
dragging.
interesting to
Letting
me.
it float.
Yeah.
He must have a little current right there. And he's culling again because the smallest there's 215. So it means he knows he's going to upgrade.
Yeah.
So he's going to increase his lead.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. The only guy here that can win 2 back-to-back is right there.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you something. That means something.
Oh, yeah.
When we was at Gunner.
Oh, big, that's a big call.
Big Pete,
call.
that's a big call.
Lord.
Oh, Lord.
That last one was bug-eye. You got a
Yeah.
bug-eyed
Oh,
fish.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look
Yeah,
here.
that fish got the bends.
He
I love it.
He gained 1.25 pounds, you say?
Yeah.
Pound?
Had to.
Just guessing. I mean, don't hold us responsible for the weight.
Wow.
I mean,
This is crazy, and I love this. Is every tournament we fish, the fortune can change in a heartbeat. But at the Classic, it's unbelievably exciting to see his day in 5 minutes
change.
totally change.
I wish we could see the full printout right now because I would like to see who's outside the top 10 that might not have put their weights in correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ever look back at the top 20 right now and Patrick Walters in like 16th, I'm going to go ahead and tell you all at home he's probably going to be leading because
Yeah.
like he's not like
Yeah.
he's that guy.
Yeah.
You just never know what he's got.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see further down the list.
Yeah. Who is the worst sandbagger ever? Is it Cliff Pace? Is it Patrick Walters?
Okay, in practice, it's Canterbury. He hasn't had a
Canterbury.
bite since 1981.
Right.
Tournament weights, hands down, is Patrick Walters. He's never put them in. He's not going to put them in. I mean, he put in it the other day at Smith. He put in 9 pounds. He had 22. How do you miss that? That's like saying my
my
uncle's
God.
got a mouthful of teeth and he's been chewing rocks and you got one. How do you miss that? You can't miss that look.
That's
So I
crazy.
would say Patrick's the worst on the scales. Canterbury's the worst in the practice. Who do you think, Cliff?
I think Cliff Pace is pretty bad too. There's a bunch of our guys that like the sandbag, but I think this is a good look at Easton winning, of course, last year's Classic, and even watching that, he seemed reserved and calm and collective.
It was so fun to have him at the Toyota Owners because he was so quiet and he was like, I got to work on getting outside of my shell, and he has.
Yeah.
You can't help your personality, and he's learning that when you carry the crown, you gotta smile, get out there.
And here's a good look. Only 4 anglers ever to do back-to-backs. Of course, one of the greats, Clun, KVD, Jordan Lee, and Hank Cherry.
Yes.
The only 4 in the history of the Bassmaster Classic.
So do you think winning on a body of water, I know what my answer is going to be, do you think a guy who's won on a body of water going in would come back there, do you think there's a confidence thing with that water? Do you think he has an advantage? Just sheer confidence.
Yeah, I do. I think the confidence and having been through it and done it.
Something about that lake fits him?
It could be.
I caught it on Hank Cherry on day 3 at Gunnersville doing Bass Live. I'm looking at the 10 and everybody's looking all up here, and I went down there like 8th, and I'm like, watch this guy right here. And they're like, why? And I'm like, he's won there a bunch. And there's something about Lake Gunnersville that he feels comfortable with. And what did he do? So like, I would say Easton's won at the highest level. You watching him, I'm like, this could be spooky, man.
Yeah.
Like he's
confidence.
Just that whole top box right there. Everybody's just flat.
Yeah. You could almost smell it. Can you smell it?
Can you smell it?
I could smell the confidence oozing through the screen.
I got a whiff.
I smell bad decisions and breath. I wasn't going to say that on live. But it is. You see all body posture here is confident.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people say, well, how can you tell people are catching by their body posture? You and I, all 3 of us can ride down the lake and point out who's crashing them and who ain't.
Oh, yeah.
Who's crashing out.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Interesting, too, just a second ago, Easton looks like he's still dragging the sea rig, and I saw him shaking it.
Yes.
In his retrieve, he was actually using that shake that we were talking
out.
about. That's crazy. It's like, what?
I wonder if he's getting the bait to the fish, and maybe there's a current flow there, and he's kind of trying to rattle. You know, because a Carolina rig, you have your weight, and you have a glass bead, and then you have a swivel.
Yeah.
And some people use tungsten beads or whatever else, but he may be trying to cause that noise, that cluck, 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 and then let the leader float, almost shaking the slack. Pretty interesting.
It's almost like bringing a minnow, a weightless minnow, to those fish.
Yes.
You're just using the weight for the presentation. Everything else doesn't matter.
And his leader's pretty long. Because he's a tall guy with long arms, and you see the reach where his rod was.
Yeah.
You see how high the swivel was, almost out of our picture.
Yeah.
So you got to be 36 to 40-inch leader, which is pretty long.
That's long.
You don't think I can analyze that, guys? I don't take Adderall for nothing.
Yeah.
I'm
The
a
other
good guy.
thing, if you look, I'm looking at Trey and Easton and Fisher in really, really windy conditions, and you talked about that light jig head.
Yep.
With the Carolina rig, dude, he ain't worried about that.
No.
He ain't worried about no light jig head.
Nope.
He's able to get it to the fish, get it down.
I just think we're seeing how much more these guys have embraced the sonar, but going back to every technique that we've all fished to figure out how can I incorporate that? How can do I have to have this bait at this?
Right.
Nope. I'll put on a Carolina rig, put on the same type bait, and just let the leader float around and shake the slack.
Yep. Crazy.
And he did a little twitch on her there. Seen
little
it?
Twitch, little reel on the rig on the bottom.
Little twitch.
Looking at his watch.
Checking the time.
This is when it gets good.
He's
right
feeling
here,
it.
folks.
He's feeling the crunch.
He's starting to, and Fisher is hooked up. He is. Let's see what he's got. They are going to make people pass out. They're bringing this thing.
It's crazy.
Bringing it down to the wire.
He looks like he's getting.
He's.
Oh
Oh
boy.
Oh boy. Oh Maggie Joe.
Oh boy.
Oh Kelly or not.
Oh,
Don't
boy.
panic. Don't panic,
That's a
Kelly.
long one.
Mama, don't panic. He's got it. Come on, Fisher. Get your hands on him,
That's
son.
a long one.
Oh, whoo. Lord, I thought I had a heart attack.
Wow.
I didn't know we were supposed to get excited doing that. I thought this was fake.
Well, you could feel it. You know, you could feel it just by watching it, feel it on the screen. But that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a long fish. These smallmouth,
Yeah.
the one thing I noticed, they don't look like St. Lawrence smallmouth. They're not round or football shaped, but, dude, they're long.
Yes.
Like, what is that? That's a 20-plus inch fish.
Yes. So let's see.
Crazy.
Can we hear it?
It's for the number 2. Got almost 21. What's the next one to get? A 366.
Did he just say what I think he said?
He's got almost 21.
Maggie Joe, what did he say?
He's got almost
I got almost 21.
Number 2, so it should be more.
Our last classic here, you and I couldn't put ours together. Got to
No, we could have fished for a week
I
straight.
take that back. Now, that one year, you blasted them.
I had a couple
blasted
good
them on a
days.
10,
I had a couple good days.
But we've had some bad days here, too.
We had a lot of bad days here.
People don't understand. This is a real easy place to have a 9-pound day.
It is.
And then you're like, uh-oh, I'm in. Yeah, that's a pretty good call right there.
Yeah, you're
guys.
calling 3+ pounders. It's a good day. You know.
So he called number 2.
Yep.
And
number
he's
2.
going to throw him back.
That's
pretty
for
skinny.
sure over 3, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
He's using some type of fin clip to keep them on there, weight them.
Keep them down. Maybe they got the bends a little
so
bit.
if the people at home want to know why, it's not necessarily he might have caught them that deep. A lot of guys, we go above and beyond to keep them alive. So you see the pool noodles that we joked about.
Yeah.
You see different weight systems to keep the fish on the bottom as the boat travels at a rapid pace.
Right, you don't
with
want
a chop on the water. You don't want the fish coming too high.
Yeah.
So it's fish carry has really came a long way. I mean,
Yes.
I was so proud, like when TH really got into that and we introduced G-Juice and all this, and now you're seeing companies from everywhere try to get involved in that game and say, what is fish carry all about?
Yeah.
It's very important.
Very,
because
very important.
You can lose an event by a fish that passed away.
Big time. All these guys want to bring 5 back, and they want to have 5 alive fish.
Yes.
Yeah.
You never think it matters till you weigh in one. And the only year we ever had the 8-ounce dead penalty, one year we had an 8-ounce dead penalty, and I won Toledo Bend by 7 ounces, had one die, and I lost by 1 ounce to Dean Rojas.
Gosh.
And at the time, you're like, it seems so, and it was a deal where the fish just took the bait too deep.
Yeah.
So then you start realizing now fish care is so important. That's
is.
one thing I would say Bass and the elite guys do. They
do a great
really, really, really push us for the highest fish care. And the anglers are inventive.
Yep.
They're putting more foam. They're putting nets. They're putting noodles.
Yep.
And not romaine noodles neither. Them are pool noodles. Could be used, as I can said, as a life vest.
Gosh, this is a fun tournament to watch. Like for fans at home, though, like you guys were saying, if they're off at all with the weights that they're putting in, the top 10 is so close right now.
And to the fans, when it clips by, like on Fisher's boat, you'll see a POV camera sitting on his console. And the fans may be asking, well, why has he got a POV camera when he has a live camera on him right now? It is a Bass rule.
It is.
That we have our cameras on and operating in case of a rule infraction. So you see that camera there. That's not just for his YouTube channel. That is for Bass to review anything they need. And they can pull your footage at any time. They can walk down there and say, give me your card.
Yeah.
And we have to keep that footage, if I'm not mistaken, till the next tournament is over.
We do.
You have to hold it on a hard drive for one tournament, and then you can delete it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's back, and he's backwards again. See this?
Throwing back.
I'll just catch this
I'm
behind
so
me.
impressed
This
by
is
that.
like watching Jason Williamson when he played like in the NBA, white chocolate, making all those passes that nobody, you know what I mean? Like he was behind the back and all these passes that nobody could believe. Like that's what this is equivalent of, that little quick backhand.
It's funny how times have changed. Like I remember growing up watching Denny Brower and you and Andy Morgan, these guys that could put a bait anywhere on the docks, and I'm like, man, I want to do that. Now nobody cares about that.
Nobody cares.
They want to be able to do this.
Yeah, I just need to be able to flip my
doing?
corky ball back behind me and catch them again. You know.
You got some signatures, G.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. We on live. We got you. We got you.
Yeah.
Oh,
And this is part of it. I want to remind everybody you're watching the live here at Toyota booth 2026 Classic, and fan interaction here is the deal. We got fans coming here.
You want Maggie Joe's?
Yeah, you
Maggie?
need Maggie's signature.
You're already on TV, son.
Yeah.
You can't deny this woman on TV. Your friends will say you're crazy.
Yeah, look at that camera right there. If you want to say hi to anybody at home
'cause
watching,
you're on live camera.
You're on live here with us, so that's good.
You signed the man's hat. You just busted us all in the pro-am and don't like.
Yeah.
Really? You can
By a lot too,
Yeah.
not by a little.
You get Ike on there. That's my pen, your pen, Ike's pen. Yeah. I need a pen, so it's a stolen pen.
And we're back. We're back to our
and there
regularly
is the
scheduled.
backhanded
There's
Jason
the backhanded
Williamson,
cast,
white chocolate of the NBA. He just does that, and he was so great at that. Like he was one of the biggest players I ever watched in the NBA because he was so ahead of his time.
Yeah.
It looked effortless. That cast looks effortless.
Tink.
And I'm not a bad caster. That's a tough one to perfect.
Yeah.
We can all throw it backwards.
Yep.
It's hitting it right where he wants
You're
it.
throwing it back?
I threw it back in my day. That's why I got these bad knees. The stanky leg went to the cranky leg. Look at here. 20 pounds, 13 ounces. Fisher's showing himself at 19-13, which we heard through the grapevine.
Almost
I might have 21.
Right.
JT Tompkins has made a big move late in the day. Look at Paul Mark still holding Dakota. We got Dakota, Dylan Nutt, Tennessee River expert, Dylan Nutt right there. Trey McKinney's fell back a little, but not far off pace. That 15 pounds he's showing could be 17.
Could be.
You
Could
never
be.
know. Drew Cook, 14-10. Promise you this is not 14-10. It's 16-5. Anybody want over under? You want to take the over on that? Drew Cook don't have 14-10. He's got 16-5.
Drew Cook's good about lying a little bit too.
And look at him. He is still He's on that scrape you talked about.
Yeah, he's on a scrape.
These are the flurries. Though, it's a moment ago. Okay, so this has already been had. These are those moments, though, Ike, that I remember in my career that I've never forgot. Those flurries.
Oh yeah.
In the heat of the battle, where it's just like your emotions is as high. Because everybody says Ike's just screaming to be screaming. No, when you won in New Orleans, dude, I knew the run you made. I knew the emotional roller coaster you was going through.
A lot.
So it's an authentic celebration of I did it. I think I got a chance. Then that run was long.
That run was long. Yeah, those moments leading up to the weigh-in are some of the worst, you know, because you know it's going to be close. It's not a blow-away tournament, you know. There's I think this is another replay. Maybe it's alive.
Yeah, it looked like the one he caught a minute ago.
Yeah.
Smalley, most definitely a Smalley.
Yeah.
Fisher
moments ago. Yeah, it's a replay.
Boy, this is a heavyweight match. This is what you call at the end of a fight where they get toe-to-toe. You ever notice that?
Oh, yeah.
And the crowd gets on their feet and everybody's screaming because they're at the end of the fight and they're like, we're just going to stand toe-to-toe to see who goes down.
Yeah.
These guys are going swing for swing at day one. Day one.
Crazy, man.
Me and I could be heading back to the ramp going, well, we had a pretty good day. Back to see what Becky's doing. We're going to be in the hunt, but not these guys. They're going to get that final punch, you know.
Yeah. They just keep going. Wow.
They're making me nervous. Let me look at my phone.
I'd be on my way. I was 7 minutes early to the Pro-Am weigh-in yesterday, okay?
Yeah.
And this is like, so people ask me, they're like, do you help Fisher much? And I've told him this, son, I can't help you at this, what you're doing here.
Right.
Like, you could help me, but I can't help you. But the things him and I talk about with his dad and all that is the things that I can help you with, as in on the tournaments when you have a chance to win, don't do anything dumb at the check-in.
Right.
Yep.
That's these are the things I can tell you from experience, you know. If you're ever in doubt, son, come in.
Right.
Write your time you're doing down. I always write it on my speedometer gauge.
Yep. I see people write it on their hand.
Because you can just spray sunscreen on it and wipe it off. So it's a dry erase board.
Yeah.
But write that down. Those are the things that I know for a fact that will help you in your career.
Yeah.
And if you're worried about your run it in practice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've had Lulu put me in. She said, I said, I want to run it wide open, down and back. So you don't want to fish tense, not knowing if you're going to make it.
Time it. Get comfortable with the run.
I said, those are the things I can help you with. But me telling you how to find one in 6 inches of water on scope, no, bro.
Right.
I can tell you if they're biting a buzz bait, you text OG, I'll be like, they on a jig.
It's crazy. It's funny, too, because I'm looking at, like, Easton's deck here, and gee, it reminds me of your deck. Like you're the junk fishing king.
And he's got a lot on there.
But here's the forward-facing sonar king, and just as many rods, just as many choices to pull
Which
from.
either says he figured that out in practice, or he knew where a lot of them were that he didn't know how to catch. Like he didn't spend the time.
Right.
Maybe he didn't want to get seen there.
Right.
So he rigs up an extra, and knowing I can play the variety pack during the day.
Right.
Fisher's deck's pretty clean.
It is pretty clean.
Like 4 rods, 5 rods.
Yeah.
You look at Easton's, he's like, I got the buffet. I got sweet and sour chicken, blackened chicken. I got everything. Cream potatoes.
Does Fisher have all spinning rods up there?
Oh, yeah.
Looks like all spinning.
Just to be able to experiment with some different.
Yeah, he's got. I'm sure he's got a minnow. He's got a dog toy. He's got a drop shot.
He may have 2 different size minnows, you know, and then he may have. There's all kind of little tricks. They don't show them all to me. But here you said, notice how he's not trying to get that static. That's water. That's not a bad read.
Bottom.
It's just wind stirring the bottom.
See a couple on the bottom. And these we said it over and over, but these are the hardest fish to see and catch, I think, on forward facing.
Notice how
they're not as obvious.
You notice how fast he realizes when they're swimming the wrong direction, how fast he can correct it.
It's crazy.
And the wind's causing him to have to pan a little faster, so it makes it a little harder at home for y'all to see it. And I've noticed on those windy days, that's when I suffer the worst at scoping. I get really, really frustrated because I can't keep my bait where I want it. And I get frustrated. He doesn't care. Him and the rest of them guys are like, so the wind's blowing 40, big deal.
Yeah, it's crazy too, the amount or the lack of cover that we're seeing on the screen right here. Like I saw one little stop or something. There's another stop, little stick or log or something, but pretty bare bottom, G.
It's pretty bare.
Yeah. That's
pretty
crazy.
bare bottom, and you notice they're just kind of, when we say panning, that means you're taking your trolling motor paddle and you're panning to the left and to the right, you're almost like sweeping, sweeping an area trying to see what's there, and you may have to pan it twice to get a flicker of a fish, you know, and I've spent a lot of time this winter, like with my Mega Live, doing that. Try to go to find a fish and then let him move on intention and then try to find him again as fast as you can, you know, to practice. And it sounds crazy. So you just go out and just practice running one off and chase him and find him again? Yeah, you would.
It's a good way to practice. Yeah, this is crazy. Very, very, very bare bottom.
Very.
I'm not seeing a lot at all down there, but.
See a lot in the live well, folks at home, but we don't see a lot here from the booth.
Yeah, a little bit deeper here, too. It looked like we're in about 15, 16 foot of water.
I see the one he's chasing there at the back of his cast, and that's a 70-foot cast, but he must be knowing he's fixing to have to go. Oh, no, he's going to make a lure change.
Changing the dog toy.
Yep, he doesn't like either the way that went down. He don't like the way something's looking.
Putting a cat toy on now.
Yeah, he's changing something.
Oh, we get a look. This is rare. Oh, big minnow.
Oh, big minnow.
Big. I'm gonna say 6 or 7.
Okay.
Elastec material. Elastec
I
material.
think that was a freeloader, wasn't it?
It looked like some type of.
They have is freeloader Elastec?
Or it could have been
The
like
jerk.
a big. Is that big mooch minnow? Is it Elastec? The
I don't
big
think
one.
so. No.
That was an Elastec bait for sure.
The little one is. The
Is
little
it?
mooch is Elastec because I'm
Sorry, Crush City. Don't fire me.
I'm just saying. And then I know that you've seen Dustin and Jacob have some success on a bigger one that hasn't came out yet.
Yeah.
I wonder if that young man's got some of that secret stuff from Santa Claus sent to him.
Yeah.
And here it
I
goes
just didn't
down.
get a good look at the tail on that one.
Here it goes. Here it goes. So he just
So he just knew what this one wanted, or what?
well, he just knows if
Got a rise and then it went back. Yeah.
He's trying to figure out what's going to trigger him, and from there he's going to mess around with him a little bit. All right, so he's trying to hold it. The wind.
It's
There was
crazy how he's
it's
keeping it
encroachment.
right
It's
there.
encroachment. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Swing. Oh, God!
Nipped
He put his
People
lips
at
around
home.
it.
Nipped
People
it.
at home.
Yeah, he put his lips around it, tasted it.
I got to kiss the prime queen,
Yeah.
then she spit on me.
Oh.
You see how quick his hook set was?
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things I've learned is if you wait to feel the fish, you're done.
Right.
If you could.
So he's not even feeling it.
No. He's
Wow.
swinging. Watch how fast he swings. If we could replay that and have his body in the left and his bait on the right, he swings as soon as he thinks they've made contact.
Wow.
He's not waiting on, he's got it.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's a talent in itself. I
Took
don't
me
think I
about
could do
3
that.
tournaments of getting smoked down on that before I said, hey, I'm just going to start jerking when I think they run into each other. And it was at Smith Lake.
At Smith,
and as soon
yeah.
as I started doing it, I caught every one of them.
Wow.
As soon as they would race to it, when I thought they touched, I would just set the hook.
Wow.
And the ones that didn't get it, as soon as I jerked away from them, ran and got it again. And I'm
Wow.
like, but it's day 3 when I done got way behind. I'm like, really? That's all I had to do on day 2? So here we go again. He's dropping that big minnow, and he's.
Yeah.
Now this is where my confidence was start to fade, is because he had done made a move on it and missed him.
Yeah.
But you see here, there's nothing to it. I'm just going to sit here and
Keep going back to him. Keep giving him a new presentation. Wow. It's crazy. Yep. And
Oh,
got him
my
again.
he
Shoot,
rose. Here we
no,
go. Here we
got it.
go. Did he?
Oh, another one off the bottom,
Oh,
too.
here comes another one. The second one to get it.
Competition is
Second one to
good.
get it. Oh. And you remember what he did? You remember folks at home at Lake Martin? You seen what Fisher and I did at Lake Martin? He said, that's the small one. I'm not jerking. He let him spit it out, and he caught the 4.5-pound spot and went
Wow.
on to win the tournament. So
Who does that? Who does that, Jay?
well, I mean, sight fishing I do. And,
Wow.
But it's so incredible. Like, it's just something they've practiced, and he knows.
Yeah.
So he's going to go right back down to him. And they seem to be active now. Seem like he's pulled them a little higher up off the bottom.
Yeah.
So they're a little bit more like either wanting to bite, aware or something, but he didn't like that cast. It's too
Yeah.
short. You could tell. He's like, I'm going to burn it in. Here we go again. Does look like, I see what you're talking about, a little bit of, almost looks like cane.
Yeah.
This real
Yeah,
thin
some kind of
target
little
right
pile
there.
down there.
Well, let's see what he can do. I mean, I never have been a gamer, and I never thought I'd be.
Yeah, now I'm
I'd
seeing-
commentate in the game, but here we go.
Now I'm seeing some timber and brush.
Yep.
And this is more traditionally what you'd think of, like what I would look for.
Right.
But you know, they're
Oh.
where they want to be.
That's
you know?
a good view of it.
Yeah.
And the reason he's not staying on that is because the wind's blowing. So
Yep.
he's having a pan. I mean, if you get a little dizzy at home, Dramamine works for me. I mean,
I'm so impressed by how long he keeps that minnow in one spot
Yeah.
while fighting the wind,
That-
while
that's-
keeping
that's that light
his
head that we're
transducer.
talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I have a tendency when it's windy to want to go heavy. And the
Heavier,
problem is
right.
it gets to them, and once you screw up and it goes past them real fast, you're
Done.
going to be a minute.
Yeah. He almost never. I'm
Goes
not
under.
seeing him go under.
He's not going to go
Is
under.
that always, G? Is that a
Always.
rule, like
That's
100% rule?
For Fisher, it's a rule of thumb. I'm not going under him.
Wow.
We're
All right.
coming in. We're getting ready to
All right, we're
close
getting
out.
ready to
I
close
just
out.
want to say
I was
thank
just
you.
getting into it.
Yeah,
I mean,
was too.
I mean, I hate to leave this and go, but I want to go meet the fans. I need
Yep.
to take
Yeah.
a bathroom break. But thank you to Bass and Toyota for
Yes.
having me here in the booth.
Yes.
Think we're going to be back a little while tomorrow.
We will.
So tune in.
Yep.
I hope we didn't embarrass everybody. Hope you guys
Yes.
like it.
Hope you liked
if
it.
you did
Hope you enjoyed
like
yourself.
it and you want to see us back, shoot them folks an email.
Yeah.
Daddy needs a job and
Yeah.
extracurricular.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Thank y'all so much. The Classic's wonderful. Come to Knoxville, see us.
Come
Ike,
down. It's a great
Where all
event.
are you going to be working at the rest of the day?
Yeah, rest of the day I'm going to be all over the place, but I'll be a lot here at Toyota. So come hang
Yep.
out, come
Maggie?
see me.
Same here.
Yeah.
What he said.
Yep.
We're going to be everywhere. I'm going to be everywhere, mostly at the bathroom. Thank y'all for joining us. Peace out. We love you. Good luck to all the guys in the Classic,
Yeah.
and may the trophy go home with
Yeah,
you.
we got a good show here, Jay. It's going to be a good tournament.
Good
tight,
show. Good
tight show.
Tight show. We tight. Hey,
Tight.
we didn't get fired yet.
Well, not yet.